everyone, and welcome to live coverage of Kent Women in the Women's Vitality Blast, proudly sponsored by Cluberly. We are here this afternoon to witness Kent Women take on Worcestershire Women. The sun's creeping through them crowds. I'm here with Rita Green. We'll be talking you through ball by ball this afternoon for hopefully an epic game of cricket. Good afternoon, Rita.
Afternoon, Molly. Good afternoon, everybody. Yes, it's nice to have, the rain away from us, Molly. Should we start there? It doesn't look like it's going to be disruptive this afternoon. It's, let's go. Let's not look at the weekend's weather, but today looks good.
I think so. I think we're going to get away with hopefully an uninterrupted day of play. I will quickly run you through the Kent team. And I think Rita will run you through the Worcestershire Rapid women's team as well. So Kent today are unchanged. We have Captain Megan Bout, Coco Streets, Amy Gordon, Kelly Castle, Elsa Barnfather, Maddie Blinkhorn-Jones, Holly Young, Hannah Hardwick, Izzy James, Zena Bilal and Sydney Gorham.
And I'll go through the Worcestershire Rapids women in a moment. There we go. Keep you in suspense. Don't want to miss the first ball.
Sydney Gorham started her run up and she paused. As that is played into the offside to get us underway for no run.
Right, here we go. The Worcestershire Rapids women. Here we go. Bryony Gilgrass, Alicia Pollard, Ebony Tweets, as well as Sophia Mitchell. And the skipper for today is Claire Boycott. Then Liv Goff has got the glove for today with the wicket-keeping gloves. Megan Bishop, Maisie Wright, Jess Beach, Amy Maud and Charlotte Roberts.
So it's driven into the gap. Bilal will do chase on the boundary. And she cuts it off. A very good diving effort, pulls it back in. So it could be a run out. They make their ground in the end. Good running by the opening duo.
Yeah, good running and good fielding in the deep there. Zena Bilal was probably feeling like the ball was running away from her down the slope, but with her elbow pads on, she threw herself around there. That's exactly what Kent need to do right from the beginning against a very evenly matched opposition today, would you say, Molly?
I think so. It's going to be quite an interesting day's play, I think. Kent obviously looking for a win after their defeat to Gloucestershire here on Sunday. Again, winning the toss and bowling. As Gorham is into Pollard. Floatier this time. It's played into the onside. But Streets, a good diving stop to her right.
Yeah, again, nice bit of fielding. And the outfield looking super lush today. I had a little walk out to the middle for the toss. If I'm honest, I was about 30 seconds too late, but pretty much saw it from a distance. And the outfield's looking great. And the wicket's looking a little bit green.
There's a green sort of remark about it, isn't there? And it's gone to ramp it. It's gone high up in the air. It will fall safe. It might come back for a couple. And they do as well. A bit of some fancy shots coming out in the first over here then for the visitors.
Yeah, I think Gorham probably saw her manoeuvre her body position to the ramp. And therefore the ball went way up in the air and actually dropped straight on the circle that denotes the inner circle. So it didn't go a huge amount of distance, but very, very safe.
Yeah, it's a safe shot. No 45 in place, so it's a big gap on the pitch. As again, this one is gone for the big drive, but a swing and a miss. Bit of a away move. I think that moved quite late as Blinkhorn-Jones sort of moved quite sharply to her right as that one went through.
Yeah, nicely taken. Sitting next to a far more qualified wicketkeeper than I'll ever be. I thought that might have been a wide, but it looks, as you say, the movement just took it away from the batter.
Gorham's in again. Floatier again, driven, but hasn't timed that, so there'll be no run. Yeah, we saw an absolute sort of run fest on Sunday, didn't we?
Couldn't take our eyes off the game, could we? And I think, what do you think? A few days on, it's less than a week since we've been in this exact position. We swapped places, haven't we, as well, just to vary it up. But I think they'll be disappointed that they lost that one, didn't they? Against the Gloucestershire women. It was a tight game, wasn't it? As you say, a bit of a run fest, but it could have gone either way.
I think it was really close, and I think Kent probably were slightly disappointed at the end of that fixture. However, to get that close and that other high run chase, I think was something they can definitely take away from it and looking to bring into today. Obviously, 2 home games quite close together is always, I think, a bit of a bonus for any team.
Yeah, sure. I'm sure they're wanting to put it right as soon as possible. But we've got Gilgrass on strike for the fresh new over for the Nackington Road end. The ball comes in, cut into the offside, nicely fielded and pushed to her collie. Didn't quite get it first time there, did Sydney Gorham. But they go through for a single. It was short and wide and there to be hit. 1 more to the total. Worcestershire women, Rapids women, 6 without loss. Bit of a change in the field. The batter, Pollard, is just getting into play. As is the batter's prerogative. The ball comes in, trots down the wicket, nicely driven. A really nice drive down the wicket, and actually the fielder has gone down in a bit of a heap. And I always worry about shoulders when you've got mid on. It was trying to come round to cut off the ball, but she seems to be okay. But really nicely timed drive there. That's slightly ominous early doors. And Alicia Pollard did really well there. Nice drive, 4 runs.
Yeah, Simon on drive is always a player in form for me.
Yeah, for sure. Next ball comes in, driven straight to cover and no run. And yeah, the Nackington Road end. Not many down that end at the moment. Friday afternoon, maybe there'll be a few more that drift in, but there's lots of school kids to our right-hand side. The next ball comes in again. Pollard trots down the wicket, straight back to the bowler though, and there's no run. And Gordon's really trying to flight this up actually in terms of her right-handed off spin. Here she comes, and it's driven in the air. But unbelievably well placed, straight between actually the cover fielder and mid off. That was in the air a really long time, Molly, but safely played in 4 runs.
It was. She's picked the gap beautifully, but there has been a bit of time, maybe there's a bit of nerves, but in the end, 4 runs.
And Amy Gordon's flighting up really nicely actually, and she's tempting the batters pretty much every single ball. Gordon in again. This one a far fizzier delivery, goes to the cover fielder, and there is no run. End of the over, 14 without loss. Gilgrass is on 4 from 3 and Pollard 10 from 9 in these early stages here in Canterbury.
Yeah, which is interesting for Amy Gordon because she usually gets through over pretty quickly. I sort of a dartier spinner, so maybe that's been a conversation over the sort of 4 or 5 days I've had off to work about tactics, but good over.
So Kent will be looking for some wickets here, won't they? They won the toss and they've elected to field today, so it always indicates you want to get a few wickets.
It does. We always say if you're going to bowl first, the power play, you need to get a couple in there, I think. As Gorham's in, and a big 2-pin drive is an outside edge, and it'll go for 4 down the vacant third region. Probably a little bit too much width there without being super critical.
No, it was there to be hit, you're right, but it was a big thick edge, wasn't it? Just to the left of backward point. I think the bowler will feel, well, disappointed giving away a 4, but a bit streaky maybe?
I think so. I think the batter would have massively loved to hit that through the big cover region, but I'd take 4 for it. I was always told it's still 4 in the scorebook. No one knows how you got it.
Spot on. Spot on.
So Gorham's in and looking to reply then. Again, more width this time, but it's a dot ball with Blinkhorn Jones happily takes that standing up to the stumps.
Yeah, not a wide ball officially, but wider, wasn't it? And Mel Juniper kept her arms down and through to the keeper. Yeah, and the keeper's up to the stumps as well. That's really impressive to see as well, even with a bit of pace here.
It's that added pressure, isn't it, I think, for the batter. As in again, driven up to Kelly Castle at mid-off. No run will be taken.
Do you think we get do you think, put my teeth back in, we'll get another run fest today? That's the question, Molly.
I think it'll be a good day's cricket if we can have as many runs as possible. Keeps it entertaining. I think just here at Canterbury, the wickets always probably lend themselves probably more to batters. So I think it's a good place to come and bat to get some runs. As again, there's width given. I'm going to see if that's been given as byes, or was it an inside edge, do you think? And it's been given as runs, so was that an opportunity?
Yeah, I think it was a thick inside edge. Trying to cut it again. I mean, it would have been the most extraordinary catch from the keeper. Definitely not classed as a drop in anyway, but that could have gone anywhere. She could have played on, could have gone anywhere, but as you say in the scorebook, it's 4.
It is. That's how I got most of my runs.
No way. Your modesty is ridiculous.
Everything behind square.
Still 4. Still
4.
runs.
Still 4. Never looked at the wagon wheel because it was just not the one. So then Gorham coming back in to look to reply here to Gilgrass. And it's Fuller. It's gone high up in the air. Someone's under it. And it will just gets away from Megan Bout. They'll get 2. And again, another creation, probably out of reach for the fielder. But it was in the air for quite a while again.
Agonisingly close to being a diving potential catch there. And Worcestershire Rapids are living a little bit dangerously, aren't they? But tell you what, they're going for it. 24 without loss. Not even through the third over.
Gorham bowls again, and it's an outside edge. Third has dropped back on the rope now, so James will collect that, and it will just be a single. I think from here, Gorham looks like she's getting a lot of movement.
Yes.
So I think dropping someone back sort of in the third region is not a bad idea. But that is the end of the over. So Worcestershire are 25 for no loss after 3 then. And I don't want to raise any alarm bells, but Sophie Singer's come on the pitch and Kelly Castle is running off. And I know Rita mentioned earlier the stumble that she took to try and stop that, maybe falling on her shoulder slightly.
Oh, it was Kelly Castle, yes, wasn't it? That feels like ages ago. That was like the first over. Yeah, you're right. I hope she trotted off. So hopefully she just wants maybe just a bit of the physio's, spray and just get it loose again. But maybe because I did my shoulder many years ago and it's just never felt right since. Doing exactly that, just diving for a ball that you didn't quite, extend your arms out. I mean, I'm sure my coach did talk about my lack of technique on that one, so it was my own fault. But no, Kelly Castle, no fault of her own there. She went for it, and I hope she's okay. That's what I'm trying to say here. From a Ken perspective, hope she's okay. But we're going to see a change of bowler already, and we saw this on Sunday, didn't we, as well?
We did.
Have we actually moved in 5-6 days? I don't think we have we?
We've permanently been here since Sunday.
I wouldn't mind. This is Hannah Hardwick from the Nackington Road end, who's coming in. Good pace from Hardwick on Sunday. What can she do? Oh, great pace again. Straight into the line of the stumps to mid-wicket and no run. And this is what I think is the difference between League One and League Two generally. It's 2 things. The first change of bowlers, the quality being not dissimilar, and also pace. You don't see a huge amount of pace necessarily in League Two. Yeah,
I think Hannah Hardwick is probably definitely the quickest out of the Kent seam attack.
Hardwick in, past the umpire. Down the leg side, this will be a wide. Indeed it will. Didn't quite get her line right in that first over on Sunday, so the parallels continue. She was very decent with the bat at the back end of the innings on Sunday against Gloucestershire. Finished off with 2 sixes, but she doesn't have to worry about the bat for now. Here she comes. Third ball of the over, but with a wide before that. She'll have to bowl that again. Here she comes in. Shorter ball and off the glove. And that wasn't that far from square leg. They go through for a single. It was there to be hit down the leg side. And Gilgrass repeats the stroke. She would like to have got back to that. If she had, probably would have been 4.
Yeah, I'd agree. It's a very good short ball. I got runs for it, but yeah, if she'd hit that probably would have gone on maybe all the way. We saw a few 6s on Sunday as well.
Yeah, we did, didn't we? Exciting to see. Yeah, lots of school children to our right-hand side near the Amos stand. I'm sure they'll make some noise, I'm sure, later on. Hardwick in. Full delivery. punch straight back to the bowler, and there is no run yet. Hannah Hardwick on loan from Hampshire. But my calculation is only 22 years old, but exciting prospect, exciting player right now.
Yeah, indeed. Obviously an ex-Worcestershire player herself, so she will...
Spicy.
Yeah, she will probably recognise a few of the Worcestershire players, and yeah, maybe a little bit of fun competition as well.
Playing against your former county. I think there's always a bit of spice in that, even though they deny it. Hardwick in, past the umpire Page. Oh, and bowls her! First wicket of the day, and Pollard moved her body over to the offside to try and ramp the ball. And the pace just did her there. Hit the top of the middle stump, and Hardwick gets her first wicket of the day. Indeed does Kent. Pollard out for 10, bowled Hardwick. And Kent now, well, they got off to the decent start. That's what they wanted. 27 for 1.
It was a good ball. Was it a slower ball as well? I don't know. Maybe I'm looking into that. It looked a little bit slower. Maybe thought she might ramp it, but yeah. Again, Kent have the wicket they were probably needed in the power play as well, as we were saying. So a great start from the home side.
Yeah, Alicia Pollard back in the hutch. She's looking at her bat as she walks off, just thinking, if I had any contact on that, it would have been a few runs. I mean, the ramp shot nowadays is just a standard shot in your armoury, isn't it?
Yeah. And
the reverse sweep, the sweep, etc. I mean, these used to be sort of groundbreaking strokes in the past, but the ramp is there to be hit. But she got her body position in such a way that she, you expose your stumps essentially. But they look great, but when it doesn't quite work out, you just have a little bit of a momentary feeling of shot selection. But anyway, the new batter is in, Mitchell, who's on strike, the right-handed batter. Here comes Hardwick in. Pace. Oh, and beaten. Beaten is Mitchell, and there's a bit of a ripple of applause around. Yeah, look, Hardwick's getting the crowd going a little bit here, and the players. She's got a bit of the X factor, I think.
Yeah, indeed. I think a quick seamer coming in, especially on loan as she is, it adds that bit of excitement.
You want to make a quick impact as well as a loanee in any game, actually. I mean, being a loanee, you want to play hockey as well. You want to hit the ground running, make your mark, and also the expectations are higher. Hardwick in, full delivery. Oh, and there's
Oh, it's all going
Do you know
on.
what? I was just about to appeal myself because I thought the keeper was going to appeal there, but no, there's probably too much not going for it. But full delivery. I was getting too excited there. Hardwick with a decent over, to say the least, and a wicket in the over as well. And it's the end of the... Yeah, that was definitely going down leg side, Rita. End of the over, 27 for 1. Gilgrass on 16 from 11. And the new batter, that's Sophia Mitchell. She's yet to get off the mark from 2 balls.
Yeah, I think it's a warm welcome, isn't it? Especially when you're coming in to one of Kent's seamers. I think you're right, any loanee, especially when your first 2 games are at home as well.
Did you ever go on loan anywhere? Did you have that experience?
I never did.
No, okay.
Obviously, last year there was loans that came in.
Mm-hmm.
I think, there's always an element of wanting to impress, and I think last year Megan Sturge came back on loan from Hampshire, but was a Kent girl through and through, so that was a little bit different, but especially when you're coming from a different county. There's that extra bit of spice about it. As Young then is going to open her day up from the pavilion end. Similar to Sunday, as Rita was saying, they've changed it pretty early on. Gone to spin. She's in and bowls. And play down to point for no run. I always think it's a pretty... If you can be a spinner that can confidently bowl in a power play in T20, I think that just shows the fact that the captain trusts you, which I think you should be pretty proud of. The fact you have that control and accountability of your own sort of 4 overs you have in the game. I think it's a nice thing to be able to do, and a skill to be able to do as well. She's in, and that's hit straight back at her.
That's a brilliant point. With the fielders in and only 2 out in the deep, right, in the power play, you've got to be absolutely on the money. There's no room for error.
Young then, it's back into Gilgrass, and again that has bounced over the stumps. That's missed everything. They're going to get a single. Girls buys against Blinkhorn Jones. They're going to come for 2. Good running. That has has turned and bounced and missed everyone.
I'm really looking forward to the replay here. Thank you to the director and producers. And she had a huge heave across the line, was eyeing up cow corner, and it missed everything. It had a fair amount of bounce in it as well, Molly. What's going on here? We've got to keep an eye on this wicket. Bit of bounce at this from that end, so to speak, the Nackington Road end if you're batting, but bowling from the Pavilion end.
So Young. Again, a similar ball pitched up, turned into the onside for a dot. I think just that previous delivery just sort of shows what we were saying in the sense of having that responsibility of bowling to be able to produce that. I think it's probably why Megan Bout's happy to give Holly Young the ball. As again, this time straighter, dropped into the onside for a single.
Nicely done there by Gilgross, actually, Bryony Gilgross, who just is rotating the strike, and actually she'd nick the strike here, but I think that type of stroke is completely, probably, no one will ever remember that ball, probably beyond about 2 minutes' time. I think in the women's game, that's super important. Just drop it into the offside or drop it into the gap, take the singles, give the fielding side something to think about, but rotate the strike as much as possible. Maybe I'm just a simple person, but that is not just about hitting the fours and the sixes and the big heaves across the line, is it?
I think it's an undervalued part of the game, is being able to rotate the strike. Obviously, boundary options are key, but if you can, the safest place to bat is at the non-strikers end, right?
Next over, and I haven't heard that one before. I loved it. Anyway, that one's down leg side. It's a wide. The keeper did well there, Maddie Blinkhorn Jones, but unfortunately pushed it almost goalkeeper-like to fine leg. No, that's a good one. I might have to note that one down. I love that. Yeah, by the way, I'm Rita Green, and alongside Molly Davis, and I'm a former county cricketer, but a long time ago, but still play the game a little bit. I think we discussed this, didn't we? Somehow I'm playing probably more than yourself. How on earth has that happened? But Molly's the former county cricketer here at Kent. Right, Hardwick, in. Short. Oh, and she's bowled her. Brilliant delivery. Loads of pace in that one. And just went through the batter, Mitchell, who's out for a duck. Out for a duck from 3 balls. And Hardwick is doing the business. I did wonder if she was going to stay on for another over. And that one kept a little bit low. But actually, she was just done for pace there. Hardwick, Mitchell. Hardwick's ball fizzed through. 2 wickets now, 32 for 2. And Kent, well, they're probably justifying that decision to bowl first, Molly.
I'd agree. It's the position you want to be in. Obviously, we're last over before the power play ends, and Kent have got 2 wickets. I mean, Worcestershire are 32 for 2 currently. So I think Megan Bout's going to feel the happier of the 2 captains as it stands.
Now I'm going to mention it. I'm going there. Do you know what I'm going to say? There's a few spits and spots of rain on the window. I'm ignoring it completely. It's going to blow over, is our hope. And actually, the umpires aren't going anywhere. The umpire, Juniper, is just looking at the cafe. I don't know, maybe looking at, not the cafe, but the clouds above the cafe, maybe just seeing how it's moving on. It is a bit gloomy. The lights aren't even remotely going to go on because the stands are down. So none of that today, but it is only, not even 3 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. Right, Hardwick in. Full delivery and an appeal from behind the stumps. Hardwick's the sort of bowler, I think, that when she appeals, she really, really means it. As in, there's none of this, psychology about it. If it remotely hits the pad, I'm going to appeal. I think she's one of these really, really calculated. But that was closer than I thought, actually. It was going down leg, but not by much. I think that would have been like umpire's call in the old TV replay situation. Hardwick in. Full delivery. And she's bowled her! Almost an identical dismissal to Mitchell. Goodness me, what are we seeing here? Hardwick is on a double wicket over at the moment after that wide in the first ball of the over. And the the Rapids rather, they are creaking. 32 for 3. And Tweets, I didn't even introduce Ebony Jade Tweets to the wicket, but she's trooping back to the dressing room and the changing room, and she is out for a duck. Goodness me, what are we seeing here, Molly?
You're seeing, I think, a fast bowler that's bowling with intent, and maybe as well after Sunday coming in with a bit more of a passion about it.
Love it. From a Ken perspective, love it.
Yeah.
Should we talk about her figures at the moment? 3 wickets for just 4 runs, and she hasn't even finished her second over.
This could be a destruction of Worcestershire if Hardwick carry on.
As loan signings go, I think the Kent management team will be going, you know what, did well there. And the new batter in, let's definitely give her a chance to be introduced here. That's Claire Boycott, and she is the skipper for the Worcestershire Rapids women, who came into today's game 7th in the table in this Vitality Blast Women's League 2 fixture. Right, Hannah Hardwick comes in from the Nackington Road end. She will be absolutely chomping at the bit to bowl this ball. Here she is, past the umpire, and bowls. Oh, another fizzing delivery. And nicely punched back to the bowler by Boycott. That was exactly the same type of delivery as the 2 wicket balls, but Boycott did well there.
She's attacking the stumps, isn't she? Which I quite enjoy. I think as a bowler, you've got to... I mean, I'm not a bowler, so people may say I'm wrong, but I think you've got to look to try and hit the stumps all the time, right? I think that's... Take all the tactics away from it. Sort of you miss, I hit mentality.
She's got the pace, that's for sure. Hardwick in. Again, a full delivery. Really nicely defended there by Claire. Boycott punches it to cover, and there is no run. So Hardwick's got that bonus ball, so to speak. Fielding sides always call it the bonus ball when there's a wide in the over, but she won't mind because she's running in with quite pace. Yeah, she's getting some movement as well. I'm just looking at the replays as well. And she's getting a little bit of movement through the air and using this atmospheric pressure out there and the wicket as well. Hardwick in. Shorter delivery and punched to mid-wicket. Didn't middle that. And there is no run. A double wicket over. Can't say it's a double wicket maiden because there was a wide right at the start, which feels like 3 weeks ago. That over was quite an over for Kent. 32 for 3. Worcestershire won't panic, of course. They can certainly bat a little way down, but there's always that case, isn't there, of when the wickets go down, especially in quick succession, it does make sides nervous. But Kent will be wanting more, won't they, Molly?
I think so. I think now is the importance of bowling in them partnerships. Everyone speaks about batting partnerships, but obviously Hannah Hardwick putting in that performance over previously. It's now for the rest of the Kent bowlers to take that momentum and sort of jump upon it. So Holly Young then, she'll be continuing from the pavilion end. She's into Gilgrass, and that's Fuller, and that's driven onto the onside. I just come through for the single. As the beginning of this over is out of the power play. So, as we always say, you'll find the filters will spread more now. There's more players out on the boundary than there were previously. So Boycott is taking guard as she faces her first ball from Nackington Road end. Again, that's just pushed into the onside, but they won't get a single.
Yeah, this batting partnership is going to be key, isn't it? They need some stability here, Worcester Rapids. A decent side. They lost the other day, but even Stevens really between these two coming into the game.
And that's driven beautifully into the offside. It's well fielded in the end, so they won't get a run for it. A very good diving effort by Sydney Gorham in the covers.
And quite rightly congratulated by her teammate, Elsa Barnfather.
That was hit hard as well. Young again, driven straight back to her again. But can't find the gap here.
I think she's bowling really well here. She's tempting the batter. Come on then. Hit me up and over and see how you get on.
So 2 balls in this over there. The one from it as it stands. Flighted again. Dropped into the offside, but they won't get a single. So it's a really tight over by Holly Young. Continuing what I was mentioning from Hannah Hardwick's over. And Kent have so many bowling options as well. We spoke on Sunday. Everyone in the team, I think, bowls of some sort. And again, that's placed into the offside. Straight to us, a barn father at point, so no run. So just the one off that.
Excellent over. And here comes Kelly Castle back on the pitch. On the field. Yeah, suddenly went back to my rugby commentary days, but yeah, on the field. And it looks like she's all right. Maybe she just needed a moment just to check that shoulder. Look, it's a long season, isn't it? You've got to sometimes just take care of yourself, even in the moment. Nobody wants to go off. Right, by the way, in other news, the sun is coming out. Big fan of that. And I know banging on about the weather. It's definitely one of those days where it's probably going to be quite tricky. If you're watching the test match this morning, by the way, as well, and obviously just listening to us now, that's absolutely the way it should be. The atmospheric conditions are playing their part with the ball today in the south of England. And right then, guess what? New bowler. And yeah, I'm almost amazed that pretty much Maddie Blinkhorn-Jones is the only non-bowler in the whole side. But it's brilliant to have that variation for Kent. We start a new over from the Nackington road end. Round the wicket she goes. Cut into the offside. No, it's not. Through to the keeper. Swing and a miss. And this is Megan Belt, the skipper, isn't it? That is bowling. So wanting to lead by example. Right-hander. I've seen this so much. I'll talk about that in a moment. Here's Belt. In. Shorter. And straight to the fielder in the deep. Really well positioned. In the deep is the fielder. Looks like Hannah Hardwick. Is that Hannah Hardwick in the deep?
Yes, out at deep square leg.
Yeah, deep square leg. Straight to the fielder and just one more to the total. This round the wicket to the right-handed batter, I'm seeing that more and more. Discuss. Tell me more, Molly. But I don't know if you've got thoughts on that, but trying to change the angle, vary it up, make it more difficult.
I think so. So Megan changes up quite a lot, whether going round or over the wicket.
Right, this time she's over the wicket, down leg side and a wide. I think that fair to say that Boycott probably feel like she missed out there a little bit.
I think so much work now goes into the stat packs that all of the bowlers will get before a game.
Belt in, flighted delivery and driven. But there's a player in the deep at long on, and they go through for a single. One more to the total, 36 for 3 as the scoreboard just ticks over. Sorry, please carry on that one. So I'm really fascinated with it. I think a lot of club cricketers do the same.
100%. I think it's all about batters you're bowling to, angles, their scoring option.
Round the wicket. And this one's swept straight to that fielder once again, Hannah Hardwick at deep square. They go through for 1. It looks like they're both right-handed batters, but different strategy. So against Boycott, over the wicket, round the wicket to Gilgrass. Yeah,
a lot of effort goes into the analysis part of the game, especially in the modern game.
Skipper Belt. Cut into the offside. Boycott, who's the other skipper. Oh, there's a shy at the stumps. A muted appeal. And there is one more to the total. There was definitely a run there and taken, but nice to put pressure on the opposition from a Kent perspective, of course. One more to the total, 38 for 3.
But yeah, you're so right. I think it's definitely something that's coming into the modern game. And I know Erin Spratt, who is the analyst here for the Kent women, and she puts a lot of time and effort into that, and the extensive information she's able to share is pretty remarkable.
Belt. It's cut into the offside by Gilgrass, and there's no run. She looks furious at herself there. Didn't time that, but we go on to the next over, and end of the over. Another very tight over. 4 runs taken from that and the wide. So again, I mean, the 4s have dried up. And boundaries have dried up generally. Haven't had a 6 today. And end of the 8th over, 38 for 3. Yeah. But those analysts are so important in the game. I mean, the traditionalists will say that the LBW is far more difficult going round the wicket.
Yeah.
But is it necessarily always about that, quite frankly? It's about varying it. I hate it, by the way. Personally, as a batter, I absolutely hate it when the bowler's coming across, the ball's coming across you. I find that particularly challenging. And if my opposition for tomorrow are listening, then you've got me already. I've given away my secrets.
I think it's definitely a part of the game. People may struggle more with others, but I think as well, sometimes bowlers aren't always looking to take wickets. Sometimes it's about game management, right? So that's where I think the need of going round and over the wicket plays more of a part. And obviously dismissal, yes, so not every dismissal is going to be an LBW, so it does still keep it in play. As that is hit down the ground by Boycott, and Izzy James is bowling now from the pavilion end as she opens up her day with the ball, and she replaces Holly Young. Again, spin sort of is something that Kent turn to quite a lot. They've got a lot of spinners in their lineup, and all talented spinners. Izzy James then in and bowls flighted. It's down the leg side. It's going to be wides. Blinkhorn Jones couldn't get across, so they're going to get a couple as well. But interestingly enough then, obviously we've just seen Megan bounce over just previously. Would you have kept Hannah Hardwick on for another over?
It's tempting, isn't it? We've only got the four overs. I'll think about it.
James is back in then. Again, a sweep shot, but not connected. Half-assed appeal for Izzy James, but no umpire did not move.
I've thought about it.
Yeah.
Probably not.
No.
Probably not, because you've got so many bowlers, haven't you, from a Kent perspective. And also you don't want to go over too far, but we'll see.
James again then. Whipped off the pads this time for Gilgrass. It'll be the single. Out to deep mid-wicket where Amy Gordon is. It's interesting, isn't it? I think if you're going to go full on attacking as a captain, if you give Hardwick an extra over and think she might take one or maybe 1-2 maximum wickets in it, you know, they're 5 or 4 down by that point. But for game management, keeping her 2 overs behind probably is not a bad idea. Oh. As again, that's missed the bat. Boycott's gone for a sweep shot. She's missed it. And Blinkhorn Jones takes that. Both batters not afraid to sweep. That seems to be something they're happy to turn to as James is in again. Uses her feet this time. Dot ball.
Yeah, she tried to sweep that ball from pretty much 5th stump. So there's clearly a gap out there towards the Frank Woolley stand, isn't it? But yeah, dangerous as well.
So last ball of the over then. Again, cut away. She'll get a single as a misfield there. And they'll come through for the single. And that is the end of the over.
Should we do a quick update? Should I do an update on the test match if you want to do the women's maybe as well? Should we divide and conquer? Here we go. So obviously your full focus, ladies and gentlemen, is here at the St Lawrence Ground, Canterbury. And if you're just joining us, welcome along. Worcestershire Rapids women are 44-3. And Kent won the toss earlier on and chose to bowl. But England against New Zealand at Lords in the test match on day 2. England 121 for 2. They now lead New Zealand by 144. Right, new over starts from the Nackington Road end. Very, very flighted delivery and driven straight to mid-off. No, right, yeah, mid-off rather, and there is no run. Yeah, there are spits and spots of rain, but generally it's quite bright out there. Next one, down leg side and just push to the square leg area, and they go through for a single. And yeah, but a change of bowler again from my recollection here. Oh no, it's Megan Belt that continues. Yeah, gosh, my eyes are deceiving me. But yeah, the skipper's kept herself on from the Nackington Road end, and she goes round the wicket to Gilgrass. Full delivery, but short and full. No, Rita, but it's full, but she made it. Anyway, she pulled it into the onside and they get through for a single. It's that angle, isn't it? You can try and really manipulate the ball sometimes with that angle, and she did well there, actually. Gilgrass, who's been a real stable batter in this inning so far for the Worcestershire Rapids. 22 from 25. Next ball comes in, wide ball. And indeed, it is called a wide. Umpire Page took his time. She'll have to bowl that again, will the skipper, Megan Belt. 28 years old, very much a Kent girl, born in Margate. Here she comes once again with a bit of spin. And there's a stumping and it's given. And it's the skipper Boycott that goes. And Kent did everything they could to actually engineer that. They've worked so hard, the Kent fielders, to build the pressure. There hasn't been a boundary for an infinite amount of time. And Boycott and also Gilgross were trying to engineer shots there, trying to get really creative, the right thing to do. But Megan Belt tempted the skipper, the opposition skipper, down the wicket, skipped down the wicket, missed the ball. And good work there from Maddie Blinkhorn-Jones. The scoreline now, 47 for 4.
Yeah, sharp work there from the Kent keeper. That got high on her as well. The bounce, I think, just carried on, but she adapted really well and took them bows off pretty quickly. So, yeah, the visitors are in a little bit of trouble now, but Kent are going to be pretty happy. As you've said, you win the toss and you bowl. You've got to try and take early wickets, and they've bowled well in partnerships.
Yeah, indeed. The other day against Derbyshire Falcons, the Worcestershire Rapids, they came up a little bit short, chasing 113, 109 for 9 off their allotted overs. So, losing by 7 wickets. And I'm sure Kent would have known that, winning the toss. They probably thought, well, look, let's put him into bat and see how we go. But with 4 wickets down, Kent will know now they've got to go in for yet more wickets. Here's Bishop on strike. Megan Belt in. This one's driven just to the left of the fielder in the cover area, and they go through for a single. Nicely done there, Bishop. Love it. One delivery, nice drive, get off strike, and put the far more in batter of Bryony Gilgrass in. Megan Belt round the wicket, in. Cut straight to the fielder, though, and there's no run. Either side of that fielder, and that would have been a few runs, and Gilgross is a bit upset with herself. Don't worry, Bryony. I think I'm no coach, but Bryony's doing a good job there, actually, with all the wickets falling around her. She's the opening batter for the Worcester Rapids, and she's been a real mainstay. That was a short, wide delivery, and Megan Belt puts her hand up after that delivery, goes, oh, I got away with that one. End of the over, Worcestershire 48 for 4. I've just seen the worm, just very quickly. Have you seen this worm, Molly? It's a bit like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's a bit like a ski slope. So you go up the slope on one side with the ski lift, and you're going down. So the runs are drying up for the Worcester Rapids.
As James will continue. And again, that's width, but it's been missed out on. It's another dot ball. Yeah, I think we might also be joined at some point by a special guest. I think Izzy Cloak is going to come up and have a chat to us. But for now, James will continue to bowl. And that is a dot ball again. So, yeah, Worcestershire here is just trying to find a way to release some of the pressure, find a boundary option potentially. As we said, the importance of rotating the strike as well. And that's flighted, and it's flicked into the onside for a single.
By the way, back to the test match. And Emilio Gay, on his debut, 55 not out at the moment. Of course, he's taken over from certain Crawley's position, who I saw driving out of the ground, actually, earlier on today.
As that's flighted, and again hit harder this time onto the onside off the pads.
Quality batter, isn't he, Zach Crawley?
Yeah, he is.
Certainly a big gain for Kent, but such a nice guy as well. Every time I've met him, he's got time. He's really, really nice chap, and I'm sure he'll be looking to get runs for Kent now.
And that single brings up the 50 for Worcestershire as well. And that is hit to mid-off for no run. As I said that, I was right. Izzy Cloak is going to join us.
Shall I stay with you just for this over?
Stay for the over.
Well, one more ball. And I shall make way.
Again, James racing through her over. And she's in again. And again, that's driven up to Kelly Castle. At mid-off for a single. And again, it's a quick single by the visitors. And they're going to get through for it. And that is the end of the over. So Worcestershire are 51 for 4.
Well, that's shy at the stumps. I mean, the batter had given up. So if it had hit, then it would have been yet another wicket. But I'm going to make way for your special guest.
So, 9 overs remain here then. Kent are currently on top. Worcestershire are going to need a partnership here to try and set a total for Kent to chase. And as we wait for Megan to start her over, I'm going to welcome Izzy Cloak to the commentary box. Hello.
Hello, Mol. How are you?
I'm very well.
Good.
As Bout is in, a full toss, and that's high up in the air. Is it going to go all the way? And it will. 6. She's hit all of that. Amy Gordon couldn't cut it off, and that's a bit of a gift as a batter there. How are you, Izzy?
I'm very well, thank you, Molly. Yeah.
How have you? I mean, you've watched the first sort of 11 overs of this game. Any thoughts?
Yeah, look, I think we've bowled really well. I think Han obviously had a really, really good spell at the top, which always helps.
Bout in again this time. Just defended the way for a dot ball.
Yeah, it looked like the ball was moving around a little bit, so looked like it was doing some stuff. I think she's getting a nice bit of a way swing at the moment, so really pleased for her to get some wickets.
Yeah, she looked quick as well.
Mm.
It's Bout in again. Again, shorter, pulled away. It will just be the single.
Yeah, I mean, obviously coming in to us from loan. So, yeah, been a really good addition this season, so nice to see her bowling well.
Yeah, you can sort of just see that she's enjoying her cricket, and obviously 2 big performances so far at home for Kent as well.
100%.
So obviously you're in here today nursing a bit of a big boot on one of your legs as well. So
yes, unfortunately.
some rehab time?
Some rehab time, yeah. So unfortunately done a stress fracture in my ankle, which was a little bit unexpected, but yeah, obviously it's kind of part of the journey, isn't it? So
it's obstacles that are thrown in your way, but obviously back in a Kent shirt now.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously I know you very well through pathway cricket here at Kent.
We do.
But a bit of time out. So what inspired the comeback?
Yeah, funny one actually. It wasn't anything really specific. I mean, cricket was always on my mind in that time out. I started doing a bit of work in a school at Lancing College and kind of got back into sport. So
As Bout comes back into bowl, it's hit over mid-wicket and it's going to go all the way for 4. It's a glorious shot there by Gilgrass.
Yeah, so kind of got back into sport last year through that and just started playing a bit of club cricket at Brighton and Hove, where I'm based now. So got me back involved, and then really it was kind of just fell in love with it again. So yeah, it was like I'd never stop. So yeah, got in touch with Megs, sort of had a bit of a chat about maybe coming to play for Kent, and here we are.
As Bout comes back into bowl this time. And again, she's gone for the sweep. It's a play and a miss, so a good reply from the Kent skipper. So obviously a bit of a different look to the whole county setup these days for when you were probably leaving age group. Was that a kind of a reason as well to come back into the fold? I've asked you there at an awful time, as that one is just played into the other side.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, obviously now there's such good opportunity to go pro, to get that kind of link through to Tier 1 cricket. I mean, when I had 5 years out of the game, but even when I played back then, it was, you know, there wasn't that money in women's cricket even 5 years prior. So really, when I was growing up, if you wanted to earn, you had to play for England, which was probably 16 contracts or something at the time. So yeah, it's really, really exciting now. There's potential obviously for that to be our career, whatever stage you're at. So yeah, to be back in the systems is really, really cool. And we were having a chat earlier, weren't we, about the sort of professionalism and stuff like that. So yeah, it's great to kind of see that, you know, even Tier 2 obviously not being fully pro yet, we're still kind of, it's a proper professional outfit, and we're being given that kind of treatment that I think a lot of women in cricket have probably, you know, been due for a long, long time. So it's really nice for that to kind of happen now.
I think as well, you've seen that a lot through the tiers, people coming back to cricket, especially after breaks. I think the restructure definitely gave people an opportunity to come back and play.
100%.
And obviously for you, was it pretty much a no-brainer to come back to Kent?
Yeah, I mean, look, I did have a few conversations with other counties, obviously.
So Young then with the ball. And she's bowled her.
Oh.
So she comes back into the attack and she's bowled Bishop there. That's a brilliant ball.
Brilliant ball, yeah. Yeah, Holly's been really invaluable actually. She didn't play the first few games. She missed out on those in the 50 over comp, but yeah, she's only started bowling recently in matches, and she's been a great asset to the bowling attack actually. She just varies up the pace nicely. I remember playing against her at club cricket last year, and yeah, she's got natural variation with the ball, so she's just got that consistency. I think she puts it on a similar spot, so yeah, been a really great add for us into the team.
There's lots of spinners in that Kent lineup, isn't there?
We have got a lot of spinners actually. It's quite funny. I didn't even really realise that until sort of we started playing, and you just realise how spin heavy we are. But no, I think it's good. Obviously, we've got that kind of seam bowling kind of duo up front, and then quickly change to spin. I think it does help because I don't think we've been anywhere near the cut-off at all yet this season because of that. So that is one benefit. We sort of can buy ourselves a bit of time. But yeah, I think the spinners have been doing really, really well.
I think just from what I see up here, they all bowl very differently. I don't think anyone's too similar. But
this is it.
So Goff then is going to be the new batter for the visitors. She's just taking her guard as Young's first ball was a wicket, so she's welcoming herself back into the attack here. Bit of a rebuild here then for Worcestershire as they're going to play out the final 7 and a bit overs of this game. Young's in again. Again, full and straight. They're going to come through for a quick single. So for you then, coming back to Kent, a new coaching team, probably a new structure.
Yeah.
How's it been? Has it been fully supportive? I mean, I was in it last year, but you're in the fray now.
Oh, it's been amazing. I mean, obviously, especially with me being injured right now. It's, yeah, I mean, it's, I feel completely fully supported. There's a full team behind us, which, talking about the professionalism and stuff like that, obviously is something that when I used to play, we had some things in place, but obviously back then there wasn't really any kind of talk about pro cricket or stuff like that. So there wasn't the same sort of support, I suppose. But now it's absolutely brilliant. I mean, we've got support from all angles. You really feel looked after. And to be honest, you kind of feel treated like a pro. So, yeah, really, really thankful. Hockers, obviously, James Hockley, someone I've known for a long, long time. So he used to coach me at my school growing up when I was about 3. So yeah, it's a really nice kind of full circle moment for me, I suppose. And obviously going through the pathway at Kent as well, it's lovely to be back, and I wouldn't want to kind of wear anyone else's badge on my chest, I don't think.
It's a great club to be a part of. As Young then's back in, and that's been hit hard down the ground there by Gilgrass. It will just be the single, and I think Streets is at long on. Yeah, I think it's obviously always nice to come back in, and the fact that the whole structure has slightly changed as well. And I think you're right. The support staff that you guys get now is incredible.
100%. I mean, yeah, as I say, with the injury, it's kind of that. I think that's always quite a good telltale sign of how a system works and how a structure works, and the fact that I've sort of felt so well supported, physically but also psychologically through that is a massive, massive kudos to Kent and the team behind them. So. We have quite a lot of overlap with the men's structure as well now. So we have quite a lot of staff that kind of work on both those pathways. So it's really nice to see, because it's something that when I used to play for Kent, we probably didn't see that side of it so much. So
that again is a play and a miss. A brilliant ball by Young, a bit quicker that time. Misses the top of off, and that is the end of the over. So Worcestershire is 66 for 5 with 7 overs remaining here. Kent are very much on top as it stands.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good example there. It's just what I mean about Holly varying her pace. She just does that really well. She's not a massive turner of the ball, but she just varies her pace naturally really well. Sometimes she'll get through the crease really well, and then other times she'll float it up a little bit more, and I just think it's really effective on a wicket like this. So, yeah, it's good to see. But yeah, I'm so pleased to be back, and growing up together, obviously playing on the pathway and stuff like that, it's such a privilege to play for Kent. And as I said earlier, I was kind of in conversation with a few other counties, but at the end of the day, it's nice how it's worked out. So
I think it's always nice to come back to play for your home county where you probably got so much history. And for you, obviously, as it stands, rehabbing is probably not where you want to be, but you've also still around the team, and you probably get a different objective for you with obviously, yes, being up here, but just watching the cricket.
100%, I think... we obviously had an outing at Lord's the other day, which was a little bit, an amazing occasion, but from a performance point of view for us, it was a little bit disappointing. And it was interesting kind of watching that, from the sidelines, being able to see things that maybe you get to see almost from like a coach's point of view when you're sat there, instead of sort of being a player and having to deal with like the pressured side of things in that way. So it's been interesting actually to be around the group and not be in a playing role.
So Zena Bilal then is going to come in for the Nackington Road end, and that's going to be played into the onside. They're going to push for 2, but in the end, Amy Gordon reduces it to 1. Yeah, I think that's spot on as well. I think just being that support around the team is pretty vital. I think you're quite a close-knit group, so being there is quite important.
100%, and for both, I think it's. I like to think that I'm, a good personality around the group. So I think it's nice to kind of stick with kind of the group dynamic that's going on, and also then for myself, to kind of keep myself a bit sane during this period, to still be around the girls and still have a bit of that.
So Bilal back in again, shorter with width, played into the point region. They're going to get a single. Quicker again, and a bit of bounce there for Bilal. I think as well, I mean, you're in the structure, you're in and around it. What's it like being able to go to these different grounds? You're playing now at some brilliant grounds up and down the country. How's that as an experience?
Oh, amazing. I mean, obviously you mentioned Lords. I mean, that was, obviously bittersweet for me. And, it was absolutely incredible to be there, but then to not play was a little bit heartbreaking. But, I think I was reassured by the coaching staff, which just kind of goes to show how far the women's game has gone, that this won't be the last time that we'll probably play on a ground like this. And I was positively, impressed by all the grounds we've played at really so far, including obviously Canterbury being one of them. The grounds are just amazing, and we're playing on, very, very similar standards. Well, basically the same standards to the men now, which I just think is so good to see for the women's game.
That's Bilal. Back into Goff. Again, width this time. Bottom inside edge is going to take it all the way, despite a diving effort from Barnfather. And it goes across them practice wickets, but they're going to just come back for 2. I think a day like today on a Friday, school's day out here at Canterbury, school children around, inspiring the next generation. It's kind of what it's all about, isn't it?
100%, yeah. Especially I think in the women's game, it's just having those role models that young girls and boys can actually see. Obviously when we were growing up, we sort of had some people, obviously playing for England, but now I just think it's so much more accessible.
But now, again, Fuller this time, it's just dropped into the offside, and they're going to come through for a quick single. So again, a good passage of play here for Worcestershire, dropping them running.
And yeah, it's just been, since coming back, obviously doing a little bit of coaching and stuff like that as well. It's just, you sort of, I think when you're playing and you're in the game, you don't necessarily realise 100% firsthand the impact that you probably have on some of these young girls and boys. But, after the game, when we go around the crowd and see some of them, it's...
That's that. I wasn't expecting to be called a wide, but it's inside the blue line. So it's a dot ball to end the over. Worcestershire are 72 for 5 then with 6 to go.
Yeah, it's just, lovely to see, all these young kids coming to the games and getting really excited and sort of being inspired by us. So it does make you realise that actually we do have a responsibility to kind of, put on a show and be that positive role model for them, because at the end of the day, we're kind of the people that they're going to look up to. So yeah, it's super cool to be in that position, but also have that responsibility as well.
I think it's so nice that you can see that everyone takes that accountability on. You're playing at a really good standard, but also you're growing the game. You're showing boys and girls out that you can do this as a profession, and I think that's brilliant.
100%.
So Young then back in again. It's on the money as it's just been pushed back to her. Another dot. She's bowling brilliantly here. She's restricting Worcestershire to a very small total as it stands, but these last 5 and a bit overs are going to be quite big. There's Young in again then. Width this time, but she can't get it past point. It's very different, isn't it, to Sunday? The runs with me and Rita were chatting earlier in the terms of it was a bit of a run fest here on the weekend.
It was, yeah. Obviously, both innings really, really big scores, and just us just falling about 15-20 short. It was amazing day out really for both teams.
Uses her feet this time as she pushes it down the ground. I suppose obviously, I've got you in the team, in and around it. A lot of new faces this year, obviously including yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So for someone at home being a fan, we're halfway through probably the season as it stands. Who would you say are the ones to watch then, without sort of putting anyone on the spot for the end of the second part of the season?
I think obviously it's no. It's obvious that Coco has been absolutely flying at the moment. A couple of hundreds to her name and loads of 50s alongside that. So yeah, she's clearly in real form with the bat, so obviously one to watch, and long may it continue. She just can't seem to stop scoring runs at the moment, so that's so great to see. I mentioned Holly, obviously bowling now. I think Holly's a really good asset to the team this year, obviously.
Young, and that's again been hit into the cover area by Goff, but can't get it past Castle or cover.
Yeah, she sort of come across to us and played a lot of club cricket, very experienced cricketer, does a lot of coaching as well, so she knows the game very well, and I just think a really good asset to our team. Someone that can, offer skills in all dimensions as well. And then, obviously we've got the likes of Kelly Castle come down from Tier 1 this year to play for us, so loads of experience in the professional game, and it's been a really good asset, not only in terms of her skill but also just in terms of her cricket knowledge as well, so I think she adds a huge amount to the group. So yeah, we've had a lot of strength added this year. I think obviously in terms of our batting as well, I think obviously I wasn't here last year, but I think that there's been sort of talk about how we've kind of tried to strengthen that and add a bit more depth into our order, and I think if you look at us on paper, we look threatening. I think we look very strong, and it's just how we can actually go out into games and put in a good performance, keep our confidence high, and deliver on the results. So
100%, and I think you can see the changes that have happened over the winter as well, and new players in, and just the difference from last year to this year from a Kent perspective. As Bilal is in and bowls again, and that one will be a wide as it's just too far down the offside. Again, we spoke on Sunday about this. She's got the pace. It's just being able to sort of refine that now and keep it a consistent area for a longer period of time. But she's young, and she's obviously got sort of the time on her side in that respect.
100%. I think, with some of our bowlers as well, it's about how can we sort of continue to back our skills whilst also, try new things, but also try and sort of get that consistency and build up that dot ball pressure. Because obviously, as we know, when there's a few extras, it does just leak off that pressure for the batting team. So, yeah, I think we're always kind of wanting our bowlers and our batting, and just players generally to feel confident and to sort of expand your horizons, but also kind of nail our basic skills as well. So it's always kind of trying to strike that balance, and I think that's what we've kind of worked hard on over the winter.
And again, shorter, pulled away onto the leg side, but it'll just be a single to Amy Gordon. Yeah, I think there's been so much change for every county that's gone through the new setup, and I think last year was very much a learning era, and I think this year's definitely you're just tweaking what you've learnt, and I think that's going to be the case for the sort of next few years going until everyone can land on a formula that works pretty well.
100%. I think obviously this is only the second year of this kind of new tiered system, so I think not only probably for us, but probably for every county, there's probably an element of kind of getting used to how that works, whether it's with the funding or having to be, semi-pro and also have jobs alongside this. So
that's a full toss. It's not going to be given as a no ball, and in the end, she's missed out on that one, Gilgrass. I think she thought it might have been a no ball or wide, but it's a dot ball by Bilal.
But yeah, I think it's just, probably one of those things where, with more experience each year, we're probably going to grow stronger and stronger. I think it's sort of just getting to know both how kind of the new system works and also getting to know ourselves as a team and what our strengths are, leadership roles, coaching roles, just sort of trying to really get that gel going and really compete as one unit. And I think that takes time. There's not necessarily things that happen overnight. But I think, as you say, even the difference between maybe how Kent was last year and how it's sort of grown into this year probably already shows some progression and increase in strength, and I think that will probably just continue to grow even more. So
I think as well, as much as you can give someone an insight, it's great to obviously have yourself up here talking today to try and give people at home an insight to what it does look like and what goes into it behind the scenes. And obviously you started the season incredibly well, and a hurdle like this with your injury comes up, and it's the adaptability to it. And you said to me off this morning that you're doing things like swimming, everything you can to make yourself accountable to get back on that field as soon as you can.
100%. And I think
so Bilal then, and again that's a beautiful shot. It's going to be just over mid-off where Megan Bout's at full strength. They're going to come back for two. She didn't get all of it, but she got enough.
Yeah, I think the the difficult thing is, which maybe a lot of people don't realise, is that actually we are not professional and we all do have jobs alongside this. So I think that's where the challenge does really come in, especially at this level, because we're wanting to act as a professional unit and take this really seriously. But
again, it's a good ball by Bilal. It's pretty much as full as you can get, and it's just dug out by the batter for a dot.
But yeah, it's tough because we're having to balance this with also, a quote unquote normal life. So it can be difficult, and then you sort of throw an injury into the mix of, as well, when you're having to sort of do a rehab program and kind of worry about that, and then maybe the psychological stress that comes with sort of being injured and left out of the group. So it can be a lot, but as I said earlier, Kent have been really supportive and help you kind of get through that period.
That's a beautiful shot. She's been given width and she's thrown her hands at it, but it will just be the one as she's found deep point, and that's the end of the over. 82 for 5. No, I think you're spot on, and I think to have you come up here this afternoon and have a chat with us to try and give us all a bit of an insight of how it is and understand the accountability you take on the fence, that you are inspiring the next generation, and the fact that you are a role model. So it's been brilliant to have you up here, Izzy.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
It's always a delight to chat to someone in the game, and I'm sure you'll be supporting the rest of the girls now for the rest of this game.
Absolutely.
Well, lovely to have you up here. Rita will come and join me in a second, but yeah, I'm sure I'll hopefully get you up here again soon at some point.
I'd love to. Yeah, thanks for having me.
No worries. Well, Rita will be coming back into the hot seat, and then we'll be seeing out the next 4 overs of this innings. So then, 82 for 5 is the current state of play. Goff is going to be on strike, and we're going back to Amy Gordon then, who's going to be bowling from the pavilion end. Looking to close this out in some style here from a Kent perspective, and the visitors are just going to try and get as many runs as they can here. They've got 5 wickets to play with. Let's going to see if Kent can close this out in a bit of a fashionable style then. So Gordon with the ball in hand, in and bowls. It's a full toss, it's pulled away, and they're going to get runs for it. And I could tell you what happened, but I can't see to the right hand side of me. But for them applause, I take it as a bit of good fielding out there at deep mid wicket that just restricts it to the single. And Rita Green is going to be joining me as Gordon is back in. And again, that is picked up beautifully. That might go all the way. And it doesn't. It's caught out on the rope. And again, it's a carbon copy of the ball before. I can't see what's going on, but because the stand protrudes, so I can't see. But it's a wicket anyway. So Worcestershire at 83 for 6 then. And I'm going to stop talking. Rita Green can take over.
Please don't do that. A brilliant catch in the deep. And Bryony Gilgrass's innings is over 34 from 39. No, don't stop talking. It'd be quite interesting commentary with that. I'll have to fill in the gaps. But no, really, it was in the air for what felt like, years, didn't it? It's one of those. It probably was straight to the fielder. Yes, we're slightly obstructed in terms of our viewpoint, but really well taken in the deep. Those type of catches should never be underestimated. And Gilgrass, who's been watching the wickets tumble around her, she was furious with herself. Actually, a nice little partnership that built there, actually. But another wicket goes down, 83 for 6. And right now at the crease. And that was a really interesting insight with Izzy Cloak. That was really, really interesting to hear, isn't it? She's brilliant to hear on air. Izzy, she's got an injury at the moment, but so positive. Yeah. For the team, it just shows the collective spirit of the team.
Indeed.
Right then, shall I pick up on this one then,
yes.
Molly, if you like? Right, from the pavilion end, here's Amy Gordon with the new batter. Right, who looks around and thinks, where can I get an easy single? The field is spread. Gordon in. Cut into the offside area, but goes straight to backward point, and there is no run. But it's a really good point that Izzy makes in terms of they're not a professional side. They have to have a profession outside of cricket. It's so difficult to juggle, but it's trying to be professional cricketers as well. So brilliant in the way that they do that. Next ball, driven to mid-on. They go for a quick single. There's a shy at the stumps. And they are back. So no run out in play there. Nicely done, actually. It was just to the right of the right arm of Holly Young, who has bowled beautifully today, really well, and they go through for a single.
Yeah, it's always good to have a player to come on and I think have a chat, really, because I can sit here and chat as much as I want about Kent, but they're currently in the mix.
Amy Gordon driven into the offside and to deep cover, and they go through for a single, in the air a while, but safe nonetheless. Nicely played there, actually. And right now off the mark. Yeah, nice to hear the insights of the current team. I know you were the team only just last year, aren't you? So you got great insight. Gordon in from the pavilion end. Oh, and beaten. And in fact, for a moment there, Gordon thought there was a nick. Nicely taken. Whoops. Nicely taken by Maddie Blinkhorn-Jones. The ball thrown back to Gordon, who turned her back to the ball. Anyway, she's safe. All good. Everything's good. Scoreline at the end of the over, 85 rather, for 6, with just 3 overs remaining. And look, you know, Worcester Rapids here could be finished without getting to 3 figures, Molly.
I think that's going to be tough, I think, to defend. You've got to bowl pretty well, but take nothing away from the Kent lineup today. They've bowled really well. I think the fielding positions have been spot on, and bowling in partnership, as I've mentioned a couple of times today, does have its benefits in terms of the pressure that you're creating. And it's going to be Hannah Hardwick then to probably to bowl the last 2 from that end.
Yeah, we did say, didn't we, earlier on, do you keep her on? But actually the wickets have been tumbling in, not tumbling, so to speak. They've been coming in fits and starts. And this is where Hardwick would probably be in her element. You've got the lower order batters in, and with her pace, the batters will know that full well. Gough on 13, who's going to face the first ball from the Hardwick over.
Yes, it's like a prime opportunity for a fast bowler. Then I think to have the ball in the hand, the batting team is going to be searching to try and set a score here, and you've got all the power, it kind of feels like. So Hardwick then, top of her run, she's into Gough. She's in then and bowls. And that's gone down leg. That's going to be a wide ball to start this over.
Yeah, she saw her coming there. She tried to change her line, Hardwick. And Gough, I do like this little game within a game. She's moving around, isn't she, in her crease? I'm like, come on then, hit me. And will that fire up Hardwick even more? We shall see.
Maybe a short delivery in there. Sort of, it travels down the slope as well when you're batting from this end. So Hardwick replies. Fuller this time. It's pushed up to mid-on. They're going to come through for a single, and they'll make their ground.
Yeah, they're definitely running between the wickets. Well, I mean, the wickets have dried up. The boundaries have dried up, rather. And here comes... oh, sorry, this is your over. I'm getting taken over, Rita.
It's okay.
Sorry, Molly.
I feel I spoke quite a lot when I had Izzy Cloak on, so I feel that, I should pass the baton, as one would say. So Hardwick. And that is a little bit shorter, but they've dropped it into the offside and they've run. They've run well, but you're right. They haven't consistently had that boundary option, but they have run well. Yeah,
for sure. And I think this is where Gilgross's innings was important. She was getting a few boundaries here and there, and Hardwick is, she's getting some pace through. And that one actually was a big, thick inside edge onto the pads, and they go through for a single. They've got to take the singles where they can, the Worcester Rapids, because you just never know, do you?
That's the
in reply.
So Hardwick again, this time into Gough, and again Boulder. Back of her length, she's gone to pull, but it's not got as high on her as she thought. It's taken the off stump. So Gough departs for 14 off of 19. Kent get their 7th, and it could be a pretty special way to close out this innings.
Brilliant pace there from Hardwick. I've run out of superlatives. It was pace. It was just absolute pace. Went through the batter Gough. She did try and play across the line, so it was always a bit risky. You can get high reward, but also high risk as well with that type of stroke. And Hardwick, she gets her 4th wicket. Get this, 4 for 7.
That's pretty special.
Not bad.
That's a good day out. I'd have taken them figures, but I think add a few more digits on.
you as a keeper and a batter, I think we would have done right. You and me both. But she's looking for a 5 here.
She is, and it's a good way to do it on your second game here for Kent. I think as well, obviously, from a Worcestershire perspective, probably not where they want to be, but I think today, Kent have just bowled well. I don't think they've
From
done...
the start.
Yeah, they haven't done too much wrong, the visitors. I think it's a case of Kent have bowled to their plans and executed it, and some days I think you have to just sort of accept the fact that the other teams really turned up and executed everything at a very good level.
I think they had a good premeditated plan, as you say, actually. You know, Hardwick, I think, was probably always going to bowl the last two for the Nackington Road end. And they even round the wicket and over the wicket decisions have been spot on.
So Hardwick with 3 balls left. In and bowl, hit the pads. It's going to be a shout for LBW, but it's very much going down leg. But they'll get a leg bite, so that'll bring Maisie Wright back on strike. Yeah, I think you're right. I think take nothing away from Kent. They've obviously come in with a clear plan, and like I said, they've done it well.
And they've got 2 away games coming up as well, so they want to take advantage, Kent, of their home advantage. They know this ground well with that 12-foot slope and whatnot. I keep banging on about it. It's like a bingo sheet with me when I'm at Kent. There's certain things, but you can't hide away from that enormous slope, can you? From the scoreboard end to the cafe.
So Hardwick again. She's gone playing for that one, has Wright, but she's ended up sort of playing around it. It's another dot ball.
It's so tough to come in and just be needing to hit the ball around the park, isn't it? It's just so difficult to do and 2 pretty new batters at the crease at the moment.
So Hardwick, top of the run then with 1 ball left in this over, looking to complete her fifer. So again, it's short. It's played into the onside, a little bit in the air, but they're going to push for 2 here, and they're going to take on Gordon's arm.
Oh.
And it could be a run out. And he hasn't given it.
No.
He stood very still and didn't move, but not out is the end. So they're good running. That's the end of the over. So 89 for 7 then with 2 overs to go here. So I'm just looking through my stats. I don't think there's been a boundary since the 11th over.
Wow. Kent have bowled beautifully well. They fielded well as well, haven't they? They haven't. There's been no gimmies out there. No drop catches of note that I can remember either. So we were talking on Sunday, weren't we?
Yeah.
Fine lines, and so far they're on the money. That's really interesting. Since the 11th over,
Yeah.
wow. So just 2 overs to go, as the announcer mentions as well, who I gave him a chocolate biscuit earlier on as well, just to keep the energy going today. Right, Sydney Gorham from the pavilion end. I've got some for you as well, Molly, to take home. I don't want any of them. I went for a run this morning. Aren't I a good girl? Right, Gorham in. This one's going down leg, but pushed into the onside by Beach. Takes a single. And then Jess Beach was the second highest scorer in their last game for the Worcestershire Rapids against Derbyshire with 18. Not sure if she gets 18 off these within these last 2 overs. I think that would be quite substantial. But she'll know that she needs to play her part. And here is Gorham in to right. It's in the air, but it's going to fall safe. And there's a player in the deep. Will there be a boundary? No, there will not. So picked up again. Still no more boundaries since the 11th over for the Worcester Rapids. You can hear that ripple of applause around us. They really are seeing a Kent fielding side absolutely on the money. And Sydney Gorham is doing the business here from the pavilion end.
I think as well, we spoke earlier, a bit of a green sort of mark to the pitch as well. So
Gorham, again, just slightly down leg side, but pushed into the onside nicely there by Beach, who goes through for a single. I think that's all they can do, really. If they can get as close to 100 as possible, I think they probably will make 100. 94 for 7.
Cause I just recall when Izzy Cloak was on, she said that it was moving quite a bit and late movement. So is that because there's a bit more of a green edge to the wicket? So, and you can't judge it until both teams have a bowl. So that'll be an interesting second part to the game.
Next ball. Oh, and an inside edge. It was supposed to be cut into the offside. And somehow, is it going to get to the boundary rope? No, even that will get to the boundary rope. It's going to be, what is it? It definitely came off the bat, so it will be runs. Oh, fortunate there. That could have been a play on quite easily. Could have been even a catch as well. Would have to be a sharp catch if that was the case. No, that was nowhere near a catch, Rita. God, that's so harsh on Maddie Blinkhorn-Jones. You'll be cursing me. No, don't worry, Maddie. But could have gone anywhere. Certainly could have played on. Next ball in. Heaved into the onside. She tried to go for the big six there, but there's a player in the deep who will cut that one out. They go through for a single. Yeah, Molly next to me is doing that sort of action that baseball players do. You know, like, right, I'm going to hit you out the park. But it was all along the ground. And Beach is on strike 2 from 3 balls. They'll be looking, psychologically, you want to get over 100 in a 20-over game. That is for certain. Gorham into the onside. Same stroke that Beach is playing every time to that vacant square leg area. She just wants to rotate the strike quite rightly. And the end of the over. Just 1 over remains, and Kent are doing the business here. So 7 from that over. So the penultimate over going for 7. Well, that's not bad from Sydney Gorham, whose figures are 0 for 23. And she's bowled well as well. She's played her part. But I'm sure it's going to be Hannah Hardwick to finish it off.
It is. So she has the last over of the game. She has 4 wickets to her name as well. So 4 for 9, I think. Yeah, 4 for 9.
Well, I think, as you say, we would definitely take that, wouldn't we? And party. It's a very old reference. If you take that fan, you'll know what I mean. Yeah, Hardwick, well, she'll be looking for that 5. She'll be looking for, well, to be honest, just to do the business for the team. I know they all say that, but 5s are nice, aren't they?
So she's going to bowl the first ball, the last over then. And again, it's just gone down legs. It's going to open up with a wide, which I'm sure she was not willing. I think the slope, and we always say it, but a few of the bowlers do struggle sometimes here at Canterbury. I think just because you don't realise if the ball is moving, and then with the slope on top of it as well. It's a bit more to contend with.
More than Lords.
More than Lords.
Which is 9 foot. It's 12 foot here.
It's just deceiving here as well. So then she's going to go re-bowl that one into Beach. And again, it's back of a length. It's been pushed down the ground in a cross-batted fashion, and they're going to get a single for it, and that will bring up their 100 runs as well. So I think you're right. Psychologically, 100 always just feels better, doesn't it?
Yeah, and the run rate 5.2 as well. So look, not what they would have wanted maybe, but you never know. Once you post the target, depends on how Kent will start, especially. That'll be telling.
Indeed, and I think the wicket is going to be slightly different to Sunday as well. So all to play for. And she's gone for the ramp this time. But she hasn't executed it, but it's a valuable dot ball for Kent.
Oh, I like that play from Maddie Blinkhorn-Jones with the gloves. She saw the batter right just moving around in her crease. It was a bit of a Johnny Bairstow moment there, potentially, but she was back nonetheless.
Yeah, I think you've got to be a bit inventive at this point in the game. It's not a bad option. The pace of Hannah Hardwick, if she connected that, it's probably going to be 4. So, yeah. So Hardwick is going to bowl to right again. And again, she's hit good base, and she's hit that hard out to mid-wicket. And they're going to come back for 2. And they are going to make it, I think.
Wow.
They're going to make it. So Beach was set off pretty quickly there, and she was always coming back for 2. So again, good running.
Yeah, really decisive running, as you say, and it fully intended to take 2 all along, and I think every run will count. I think it was closer than everyone thought on that one, but grounded her back beautifully. That's the right way of doing it. I think some of the professionals, actually, they really do forget how to ground a bat sometimes, and fine margins, but she was back nonetheless.
So then, in and bowls, and again, back of a length. She's looked to hit that out the park, but she's missed it. So has the Kent keeper. And you know what, Rita? It's done well not to hit the helmet.
Indeed, yeah. I was just about to say the same. And Maddie was just watching if the ball was... It was inches away, wasn't it? From the helmet. But no, we didn't get one of those. It's 5 runs, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, not to be. That. Again, 5 runs in this game. It's actually quite a lot. That would have been very annoying for Kent.
So there is 2 balls left of this innings then. Beach is going to be on strike. And she's hit it down the ground. She's going to get a single as Hardwick does the fielding of her own bowling. So there's 1 ball left here. Wright is going to be on strike, which probably she wants to hit the last ball of the innings. I think she's definitely hit some more powerful shots out into the outfield. And you can see the intent just because to the left of us, the rest of the Worcestershire team are already going through their fielding preparation. So they're full keen and strong to get going. And again, she's gone for a big swing. And a bit of confusion. It's a dot ball. There's going to be a run out there for Beach as she's come running down. Maisie didn't move and Bowser whipped off. So that end of that innings said Worcestershire end on 104 for 7. Wright ends on 10. Beach ends on 5. So Kent are going to require 105 to win.
Indeed they are, and Kent have done extremely well from the very start. That the first wicket went down after 27 runs. They got off to a good start to the Worcestershire Rapids women, but Kent women have just been on the money, line and length. They haven't really let the pressure valve off, you know, for the team, the opposition. So they'll be pleased themselves. Hannah Hardwick with four wickets in the innings. She comes across as one of these players, maybe from a distance, that maybe she won't mind. She won't lose sleep over not getting a fifer. It's all about the result at the end of the day. But I'm sure these teams are going to turn around pretty quickly, Molly.
I think they are, and then we'll be coming back for the run chase to see if Kent can chase things down here at Canterbury. So we will see you shortly. Welcome back to the Kent Cricket live stream, proudly sponsored by Cluberly. You are joining us here to see if Kent can chase down the total set by the visitors. 105 to win then for Kent. You're listening to me, Molly Davis, and beside me is Rita Green. How are you feeling about this run chase?
Well, Kent did a brilliant job to restrict the Worcestershire Rapids women to 104 for 8 from their allocated 20 overs. Bowled beautifully, fielded really well as well, and now they need to do it with the bat. It's as simple as that. The target is very reachable, but they need to build up to that. And yeah, it was really exciting to see. We've got Maddie Blinkhorn-Jones just warming up in front of us. So she warms up in a very interesting way. She does it in a baseball manner. She takes her hand off the bat as she comes through. Anyway, in other news, we'll come on to that. I'm always interested in how do people warm up? How do they get mentally ready to get out there? But it'll be a while till she gets out there. She's probably going to be five down the order. So what can the Worcestershire Rapids women do here at the St Lawrence Ground, Canterbury, on this Friday afternoon? 104 for 8. Both teams came into this, by the way, played 3, won 1, lost 2. So even Stevens, even though that Kent were fifth in the table, Worcestershire Rapids 7.
It's going to be Jess Beach then to open up things for Nackington Road End. And it's in the air. And it's going to fall safe down to deep square. Shorter ball, apologies. I thought that went straight up, but obviously I can't see.
Well, from our angle, it was. No, I don't blame you. That I was the same. I was holding my breath there a little bit, but it sort of went to. It would have gone to a very short fine leg if there had been one.
Indeed, I think the two opening batters here for Kent have been in the run throughout the season so far. Coco Streets has been a name that everyone's been mentioning, and Amy Gordon, especially in the T20 campaign, has put in some innings as well. So a key partnership here for Kent. As Beach is in and bowls. And that's got quite big on Gordon. It's hit the shoulder of her bat and it falls safe, but a bit of promising signs here from the opening seam bowler.
Oh, where did that hit her? On the body? I think she's going to have to see it's on her arm. Is she going to have to see the physio for that one? No. I think this is the quirk of the game. If it hits your helmet, then you have a good sort of 5-10 minutes to, be asked where were you born and what day is it. If you get hit on the arm, just carry on, guys.
So then, Beach in again. And it's hit Gordon on the pads this time. So I don't want to predict too much too early, but I mentioned very briefly at the end of the Worcestershire innings that pitch looks a bit green. A bit of movement up front for the Kent seamers. Let's see what happens with the new ball for Worcestershire. And so far,
that ball moved a mile. By the way, let me just not belittle my comment about hitting the helmet. Obviously, for health reasons, it's got to be done, and on the arm, it's a different ball game. Thank you very much. But that ball, the last ball, moved a mile.
In again, then Fuller, and again it's hooped in. It's driven, intending to be in the offside, but an inside edge is taking it to mid wicket, and Gordon can't get the run.
Her left arm is also still stinging from that delivery. The ball's flying around all over the place, and Beach is doing exactly the right thing, letting the ball have as much time to move as possible. So full deliveries.
Yeah, I think it's the learnings from what the Kent attack did. Fuller again, and it's come back into Gordon, and it's another dot ball. So it's a really good start to the innings here for Jess Beach.
Feels a bit tense.
It does. And that's the thing I think we saw as a run fest on Sunday, but today 104, I don't know. Is it considerably below par if this is the wicket? You just don't. So many questions. So then in for the last ball of the over, and again it's been hit on the pad. No run, that's the end of the over. So Kent are 1 for no loss after the first over.
So just 1 off the over, and I think they'll be pleased. In fact, Amy Gordon will be pleased that she's still there, that the ball was moving around a huge amount. I was just looking at this on the replay, Molly. Pretty incredible movement going on out there. And as you say, it's all about how does it feel for the opposition now they're there? But one without loss, just one from that first over, and Worcestershire will know that there is absolutely no gimmies here.
Yeah.
And here's Cocoa Streets, the Centurion a couple of times already this season. She probably knows the pressure, pressure, of course, as an opening batter or a batter at all, but also your reputational sort of pressure comes with it as well. And the keeper's coming up to the stumps. A good idea here. She hasn't got the helmet on. Gosh, she's brave. And, oh, no, she's not. She changed her mind. I thought for a moment, I think she was definitely considering it, was Liv Goff. Right. First ball from the pavilion end for this innings. Short and wide, but not wide enough for a wide. Wow, that was an incredibly short delivery there.
Yeah. Charlotte Roberts. First ball. Short one, getting Street thinking about a few things.
Wow. Okay, a bit of a looseness. Tall woman is Roberts. Coming slightly, I guess, up the slope from the pavilion end. Very short. This will definitely be a wide. It was a similar delivery to the one before. Not quite got a line and length right here. Mention of the slope again. But you just got it. Well, actually, the slope didn't really come into play there. But they'll be looking to keep the pressure on. This is what Worcestershire need to do. Keep the pressure on Kent to build a bit of pressure.
Yeah, I think wickets are going to be the key here, aren't they, for Worcestershire? They know they've got to take all of Kent's wickets to probably get the win. So I'm not adverse to the short ball.
I think, yeah, right. Really good idea. Aggressive bowling. Here comes the next ball. Shorter and punched into the mid-wicket area, and there's a fielder there. There's no run. No panic, really, from the Kent batters at all. I'm sure James Hockley will be pleased with that innings before in terms of in the field. They won the toss, Kent, if you're just joining us, and chose to bowl. They got some... the wickets kept tumbling. They got wickets... reasonably early, and they just kept coming. Here's the next ball from the pavilion end. In and bowls. Full delivery and a swing and a miss. So a moral victory there to the bowler.
Really good ball, that. That's full, maybe doing a little bit as well.
Definite movement. Gosh,
Yeah.
we said that in stereo, didn't we? We're spending too much time together. Oh, that was a beautiful ball. An in-swinger and then darted out. Next ball. Oh, what's going to be bowled this time? Full delivery again. Driven and past the fielder at short cover, and that's through to the boundary rope. And that was a really, really nice quality stroke there, all along the ground pretty much from Cocoa Streets. It just shows if you miss the fielders in the inner circle in this power play, then it's probably going to be 4 runs. 4 runs to the total, 6 without loss, Kent.
That's going to relieve some pressure as well for Kent there. Obviously, a very good first over, and it was a really good over up until the boundary. So Cocoa Streets can probably can feel a little bit calmer now.
Next bowl from the pavilion end. Full delivery and driven straight back, and a lovely on drive, and it's going to miss the fielder. This is going to be another boundary right in front of us at the pavilion end. You know, we've seen this multiple times. It's like bingo, by the way, if you listen to both of us. But on drives generally give the impression that the batter's in good nick, and Cocoa Streets is demonstrating that back-to-back boundaries for Cocoa Streets. And after Roberts' early promise in the over, what can she bowl for the last ball of the over? Here she is, and in. Full delivery, and once again it's exactly the same stroke. A beautiful on drive from Cocoa Streets. Oh, what a shot. 4 runs, really nicely played, and she didn't even bother to run that one. I don't think the bowler actually did much wrong, and actually a couple of her teammates, in fact 2 or 3 of her teammates have gone over to Roberts to basically say, look, you're bowling pretty well, we'll just keep it going. But kudos to Cocoa Streets, who's 13 from 7 now. End of the over. Kent, 14 without loss.
It was a very good back end of that over, wasn't it? She's striking it well. We always say she's in an incredible bit of form, making batting look pretty easy as it stands. So I'm sure there's a few jealous spectators wishing they could be doing that on the weekend as well.
We played this game the other week with in another Vitality Blast game of what's your favourite stroke and making that your surname. I was Rita on drive. It's got a ring to it, surely.
I love it. Love it. So then, Gordon this time, she hit it straight up to mid-off, but can't get it past. Looking to find the first one she can split the field with.
Your favourite stroke? Which is the one that you hit and go, yes, thank you very much.
I did enjoy
Loved it.
like a pull shot over mid wicket.
Right.
Yeah. I almost wanted them to bowl short. So
You get sixes as well that way, wouldn't you?
if I had the strength. And that is cut away beautifully. It will beat the fielder, and it's 4 there for Amy Gordon. So she's joined in the party. Yeah, any width is going to be punished, isn't it, I think? And both the batters are showing on many accounts they are happy to throw their hands at it.
The ball, by the way, is hooping in a mile. It really is. So these batters are doing incredibly well to nullify that by, just as you say, throwing your bat through it and taking the runs where you can. Well done.
Indeed, a continuation then from Sunday here for the Kent duo. So then Beach is in again. Back of a length is dropped into the offside. She hasn't timed that when she's gone to try and cut it in front of square. But they get a single. Yeah, I think the pull shot on a short delivery is probably my favourite.
That's very satisfying, isn't it?
Oh. Yeah.
And you can just watch it, can't you? Just admire your stroke. Love it. Listen to us.
That's the good old days.
Yeah.
Anyway, Beach then. Again, Fuller.
The good old days.
Good old days. I was like in my prime when I was 15. I digress. Anyway.
I'm a bad influence. Yeah, 90 without loss. Kent have gotten off to a decent start here, haven't they?
They've set the tone here. So Worcestershire looking for their first wicket. And that power play tends to be so vital, doesn't it? As Beach is in the bowls again. This one is whipped off of the hip. It will be a single. I quite enjoy the blue cap, so I've just realised that the Worcestershire, the players there, obviously black trousers, jazzy, light sky blue top, but they've gone for the blue cap. Quite enjoy that.
Yeah, I like it. And their helmets were a similar colour as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I like the Rapids colours. Yeah,
Quite jazzy.
of course we like the Kent colours as well. Just to caveat that.
It's just the light blue, isn't it? It's everywhere. It's great. So Beach again then, and that I think she ended up either driving that into the ground or near her foot or pad. But it's a dot ball anyway, so the end of the over. Kent the 20 for no loss after 3, requiring 85 to win.
That's Molly Davis, the former Kent women's wicket-keeper. And myself, Rita Green, here at a very sunny St Lawrence ground in Canterbury. And there's barely a cloud in the sky. Really beautiful day here in the heart of Kent. And if you're just joining us on the live stream, we're proudly sponsored by Cluberly for this Women's Vitality Blast game between Kent and the Worcestershire Rapids women. All right, the start of the 4th over from the pavilion end. And we've got Coco Streets, a batter very much in form on strike. And we'll try that one again. I think bit of a distraction there, and they start again. We're still in the power play, ladies and gentlemen. So we've only got 2 fielders out in the deep. And in feed, third man is being pushed out right onto the boundary edge, and there's a deep square leg as well for the Worcestershire Rapids. Here comes the first ball of the over, very wide delivery there, and that will be signal. That will not give help Worcestershire. 1 more to the total. 21 without loss, 84 runs required, and Pollard is the bowler from the pavilion end. Alicia Pollard, no number on her back, if you're wondering. Another wide delivery. Yeah, there's a few from this end. It's quite consistent, isn't it? You just, again, bingo card time, the slope.
It is. I think it plays a part. Just finds some bowlers find it difficult to find their line really here, just because of the late movement. But
exactly, you want the movement, but that late movement could turn it into a wide. Here's Pollard again, full delivery, and a late touchdown into the third man area, and they go through for a single. 1 more to the total.
And again, Coco Street, she's very happy to play it really late and guide it down.
It just shows a batter in good touch as well, that type of stroke. We don't mind playing it super late. I love that type of stroke, actually. It's quite another satisfying one. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it's not about us for sure, but we can reminisce about our favourite. We are admiring what is out there for sure. Full delivery down leg side. In fact, a no ball. That was a wide delivery and a no ball, but the no ball will sort of supersede. And you know what's coming next, ladies and gentlemen? It's a free hit. Although not signalled yet. Oh, yes, it is now. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, umpire Juniper.
Yeah, Gordon's going to really relish this opportunity. I think she loves to throw her hands at the ball, so it'll be interesting to see what she does with it.
Why not? Free hit can only be run out in terms of getting out. Full delivery and another no ball. There was actually a brilliant delivery right in the block hole. A wide Yorker. Exactly what Pollard would have wanted, but another no ball, so overstepped, and the umpire is signalling the free hit. It was actually a slower delivery as well, that last one, and Gordon is waving her bat around. Does she want a new bat, or is she just getting herself ready for this next one? Right, free hit. What will happen? And it's in the air, and it's over the fielder. One bounce and 4. Absolutely clubbed over the boundary rope. And as you say, as you predicted, Molly's brilliant at predicting the future. Gordon was looking forward to that one, and indeed, very annoying. I'm sure no one wants to overstep, do they, Pollard? But unfortunately, she's been punished for that one. And 4 more to the total, 29 without loss. And Gordon's really looking at a bat. In fact, to the point where she got the wicket keeper for Worcestershire involved as well. Hey, look at my bat. Is it sounding all right? And Liv Gov was getting involved. I love that. Let's get everyone involved. Pollard in from the pavilion end. Oh, and a big thick edge. That could have gone anywhere. But stayed safe. There was no slips in play, no gully in play, and only a deep point. And there's a player back on the rope at third man. 1 more to the total. And Kent's are already at 30 without loss. This is turning into quite an expensive over for Worcestershire.
I can just see down Sophie Singer, who is 12th today for Kent, as a bat and a water bottle in hand.
Streets on strike. And this is pushed to mid on. They go through for a single. So she's like every good batter in form. Nicks the strike, like what she did. Oh, no, sorry, I thought it was the end of the over. This is like the longest over in history, it feels. But Pollard will need to continue. So far, 11 from the over so far for her first over, Pollard. Right, last ball of the over. This one's driven. A beautiful drive. Save your legs, Gordon. Wow, she's hit that on the up. Really, really lovely stroke. I think that's shot of the day so far. And Amy Gordon should be particularly proud of that one, even with the particularly dodgy bat. It sounded okay to me. 35 without loss. Gordon on 14 from 14, and Street 16 from 11 deliveries. And indeed, the over continues.
It continues.
My goodness me. I'll keep going, Molly, if that's all right. You can take over at any point. Feel free to. But Pollard continues. Finishes off the over. And it's a club down towards mid-off. And there is no run. That could have gone anywhere as well. So it's living slightly dangerously, but a couple of fantastic strokes in there. 15 from the 4th over of the day. And Gordon's going to change her bat here. She probably just heard a little bit or saw a little bit of a irregularity with the bat. That reminds me I need to do something to my bat for tomorrow. Anyway, different story entirely. And right, I'm looking at the worm. Have a look at the worm here, Molly.
Yeah.
Thank you to the director and for showing us this. The worm is going up rather than plateauing in any way. So Kent will be very pleased with this start. The run rate 8.75 and the required run rate under 5.
Indeed, obviously 70 to win now for Kent. Worcestershire need a wicket here to try and gain some control back in this game. Coco Street sitting on 16 and Gordon's on 14. So pretty even as it stands. And there's going to be a change of bowling from the knacking to, I think it is. And that's forward. Boulder! She has bowled Coco Streets with her first ball of her over. And she departs. So the wicket that I was just speaking about, Worcestershire have got. So Streets departs as 16 off of 12.
Oh, and Amy Maud has done the business on her first ball. And that ball, again, just absolutely hooped in.
Yeah,
and Coco Streets is absolutely in the form of her life and got done by an absolutely beautiful ball. First ball down from the Nackington Road end there for Maud, and a wicket for Worcester. My goodness, do they need that?
Yeah, Maud there is just, has, for want of a better word, cleaned up. She's got it through, as you've mentioned. The movement is what Worcestershire needed. You think getting the wicket of an informed batter such as Coco Streets is going to probably inject some fire here into the fielding side.
Well, what do I know? Blinkhorn Jones is out there. She was warming up just a few moments ago. I thought she was going to be coming in down the order, but indeed here she is.
See, I like this because we had a conversation, I think just briefly after the game on Sunday, about obviously Kent were only a few short of the win of the loss against Gloucester. I think it was 16 runs in it, and the question that we were just chatting about, would you have changed the order up for the need of the game? And they've done that because usually Kelly Castle will be coming in, but it's going to be the wicketkeeper Blinkhorn Jones as she faces her first ball. And again, that hoops back in and she just defends away.
Sorry about the sound effects, Molly, but that one hooped in, and Blinkhorn Jones did brilliantly well to get her bat down in time. Wow.
Yeah, indeed. We're still in the power play as well. So, no more than 2 outside of the inner circle. And that seems to be deep fine leg and a deep square leg. Bit of movement of traffic there. So then, Blinkhorn Jones is setting herself as Maud is in. Fuller, and it's driven, but for no run to mid-off. This could be a good over here for Worcestershire women. This could be over to sort of gain some control back.
Yeah, and after the last over, which went for double digits and a bit more, bit of control here, and of course the wicket of Coco Streets.
Indeed. Again, Fuller, width was given, but I can't get it past the cover fielder. Hit hard though by the Kent keeper. You can probably hear some of the school children are sound effects, Mike. School's Day Out here. Kent Cricket Foundation School's Day Out. Working hard to really inspire the next generation, which is lovely to see. In again, and she's inside edge. I think I've onto a pad, but that in swing or the movement is definitely playing a big part.
Indeed, and when you get your body position ready for the drive and the ball then swings in a huge amount more, living dangerously. I mean, this is, I've been here many times. I know you have as well as a teenager. You remember those days, don't you?
You do.
You really do, and I loved every minute.
So last bally over here then. And again, it's worked into there on side off the hip of Blinkhorn Jones. She'll get a 1, and that will be the 1 from the over. So what could have been a wicket maiden, just the 1 from it, but a very, very good over there, which I think is what Worcestershire need.
That was a wicket maiden, wasn't it? Oh no, did they snick a
Just
single? Oh, right, ruined a figure for there. But Maud, no, get a great over there from Amy Maud, who's very much got some security back. Security? No, or serenity. That's the word I'm looking to into the Worcestershire field here. Serenity. That's not a word I've used in a long time, but they needed that for sure. But the run rate is still certainly very adequate for Kent. They need to regroup here, these two, Blinkhorn Jones and Amy Gordon. Indeed, the last over of the power play. Thank you very much to the PA man, who's a very nice chap. Right, we've got a change of a bowler from the pavilion end. And Blinkhorn Jones on strike. This one's looped up and punched straight back to the bowler, and there is no run. In fact, that's Meg Bishop with 19 on her back. So from the pace and the loopy, the swinging seam bowlers got a bit of spin. Short and punched off the back foot by Blenkhorn-Jones to mid-off. I was going to say she's yet to get off the mark. No, I forgot about that single that she nicked just at the end of the last over. So 1 from 7. And Gordon 14 from 15. Here comes Bishop again. Short and punch, but this time straight to mid-on. She'll feel like she missed out there, Blenkhorn-Jones. Bishop's keeping it tight. Bright sunshine here at Canterbury. What a lovely, lovely day. Next one from the pavilion end. Looped up and it's in the air. And will it be caught by the skipper? Oh, that was a very, very difficult chance. It was going away from her. And Claire Boycott tried to get under it. She was moving her feet, trying to get her body into the right position. It was in the air for a very, very long time. And mid-off, don't know, I think it was in there a long, long time. Was it a difficult one?
It was. She sort of ended up diving behind her as well. But it falls safe.
Next one. Driven. Oh, and a drop catch. Again, one of those that they either stick or they don't. Straight back to the... oh, gosh, hang on. Blenkhorn-Jones is living dangerously. Dropped by Boycott now. Dropped by Bishop in 2 consecutive balls. Bishop in again. This one's driven down the ground. Straight back to the bowler and there's no run. Blenkhorn-Jones, you should buy a lottery ticket tonight. You know, when you have your luck, when you lucks in. But she survives. Just 2 from that over. 2 more to the total for Kent. 38 for 1.
It was a good over there as well from Worcestershire perspective. 2 opportunities created, you know. And again, applying some pressure as well. So Kent are going to have to keep fighting here to get the remaining 67 they need.
You think Blenkhorn-Jones has been sent in with a premeditated plan of, look, just throw yourself through it, throw your arms through it, get some runs on the board, take the pressure off Kent and just go for it?
I think so. I think giving her a licence to come out and play her shot, she's got so much batting, you know, the experience of Kelly Castle as well, that at some point come in as she's needed. So I think, yeah, it's a nice opportunity to have to be given a bit of a licence. So then, it's going to be Amy Gordon to take strike now, who's 14 off of 15. As this again is pushed up to mid-off for no run. There'll be Mond, I think, to continue. It will be as well. After her sensational over previously. Only the 1 from it and the wicket. A good passage of play then.
Incredible swing. And quite rightly giving the ball lots of time to swing.
And again, she's gone for a very big drive and it's moved. It's another dot ball here.
And Kent have just got to be patient here. I think Amy Gordon was a bit frustrated herself there. That could have easily have hit the stumps. They've just got to be patient. There's plenty of time in the game.
Plenty of time as well, and only in 67. It's sort of probably leaning more in your favour as it stands. So, yeah, you don't want to overthink it too much anyway. And she's in and bowls. And again, she's tried to hit that down the ground, but a bit of an inside edge. Could get a single. She's looking ahead as well here to Canterbury Cricket Week. That's coming rapidly around the corner. It's the first crossover T20 match as well for the Kent Spitfires. So the men's team are taking on the Notts Outlaws. So that'll be an exciting fixture here at Canterbury. You don't usually see them kind of crossover matches until some form of quarter-final. So to have that in the group stage is pretty fun. Middlesex come down for a county championship game as well. So everything's happening. As that is driven in the air, but again, full safe.
That should be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Really looking for... It's that time of year, isn't it? It's back-to-back games. So much cricket out there. We love it. We're in a safe space here, Molly, aren't we? We love it.
We do. And a double header thrown in as well. So, yeah, the Kent women take on the Northamptonshire Stillbacks and the Kent Spitfires. And that's Boulder! And that there, again, is a bit of a similar delivery that what got Coco Streets out. So, Blenkhorn-Jones departs for 3 off of 13. It's another wicket.
I feel as though I'm on repeat here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so sorry for saying it yes again. But that ball looped in an absolute mile. And I think there was a little nick on it maybe as well that came onto the stumps. But Blenkhorn-Jones tried her best. And here comes Elsa Barnfather. And do you think they're holding back Kelly Castle?
I'm going to say they are. She did come off with that bit of an injury, didn't she? So she did come back onto field.
Good point.
But I don't know if they were just trying to rest her and see how things are going. But that's purely speculation. We don't actually have any evidence on that.
Barnfather's a quality batter. She and I drove in this morning together and said hello to her, and drove in with her dad. Just a real quality player. I played against her, I bowled against her as well. Gosh, not in the near part. So I won't tell you what my figures were. Don't ask me, please. But she'll be looking to stabilise this innings. 39 for 2, Kent. With 66 more required.
Yeah, would them career figures beat Hannah Hardwick's 4 for 14, which she took today? It's her career best. Oh. So then, this over, there's one ball left in it, and only the one from it in the wicket again, so fairly similar as she's in them bowls. And that is a play and a miss from Barnfather as she faces her first ball. So again, Morn's over is the one from it and the wicket. Kent at 39 for 2 now.
Oh boy. Morn, this is what brilliant. Let's talk about her figures. 2 for 2.
Wow.
Absolutely fabulous. As I say on Strictly, again another reference. Brilliant over there. Now she's got 2 more overs left. What do? Do you keep her going?
It's tough, isn't it?
I'd be tempted to though.
I
Get
would.
through the top order at Kent. But look, I'm certainly not in Claire Boycott's shoes, and they probably have a premeditated plan. But she's bowling so well.
She is. I think it's probably fair to say that because Kent's top order has batted so well, the middle to lower order hasn't had to do that much this year with the bat.
Indeed. And Bishop continues from the pavilion end. Just 2 from her last over. Pushed to mid-wicket. That almost relieves the pressure. An easy single and no run. What am I talking about? Easy single and 1 more to the total. Barnfather now on strike. So Gordon's going to have to play a role here, I reckon. And keep things pretty tight, but just keep playing her game in the way that she wants to without getting frustrated. Barnfather just takes her guard. She looks around and looks for the gaps. We're not in the power play anymore, of course. Just outside. Nice sweep into the onside, but there's a player in the deep and they go through for a single. That's a good sign as well for Barnfather to sweep the ball so confidently to get off the mark. The scoreline now 41 for 2. And DLS, I know there's no rain around, but DLS is 36 and Kent now 41 for 2. So they're slightly ahead of the game, so to speak. Next ball in, driven to the vacant mid-off area, and they go through for a single. This is exactly what Kent want to do. Bishop's bowling tight, but just take the singles, rotate the strike, relieve the pressure, and build a partnership. The required run rate is 5. Off the back foot, Barnfather, and there's no run. So the run rate is 5.6 and the required run rate is just over 5. So that blistering start has brought the run rate down a little bit, as you can imagine, with those 2 wickets. Next ball in. Fly to delivery. It's in the air, but over the fielders. Whoa, great stroke there. And the skipper for the Rapids, Claire Boycott, has got her hands on her mouth going, whoa, if I was just standing, 2 or 3 metres to my right, I was in business there to take the catch. But 4 nonetheless, that's all that counts, isn't it, Molly?
It
in
is.
the scorecard.
It's 4 in the scorebook. But you're right, I think that's just released the pressure, isn't it? That's something that can do quite well with the firepower they have in their batting order. 46 for 2. Shorter delivery, pushed to the vacant mid-wicket, and they go through for a single. Nicely played, Elsa, who hit the 4, take a single, take a moment. In fact, nick the strike, as I say, like every good batter who's in form. End of the over, 47 for 2. Beautiful sunny day here in Canterbury. Really, really nice day. And Kent, they're doing what they need to do to try and get a win. And after, I think, Sunday's disappointment, Molly, it's fair to say that they'd love to get back to, obviously, to winning ways, but could be a convincing victory if they just keep going on this way. Yeah, indeed. I think they keep going this way, get the win on the board, and with a couple of away games coming up, I think you're right, playing away from home, coming in with a bit of confidence is always nice. And for the Worcester Rapids, by the way, the next game is against Gloucestershire on Sunday. That's away, and then home to Middlesex the weekend after. So then, new over, and that has just been defended away.
And more just continue.
Continue.
So are they gambling, or maybe it was premeditated? I don't know, but I think it's a good idea to keep her going.
I think so. I think if you can get the wicket of Barnfather or Gordon, obviously you do have Kelly Castle to come in and bat, but that's one of the sort of the bigger strikers of the ball, I think, that will be in and out. She's got to get that wicket though, so she's in again. And again, that hits her on the pads, and it's given! So, Barnfather then's departing for falling of LBW to Maud. And that's a big wicket. And I was right, Kelly Castle was going to walk out, but Barnfather goes for 6 off of 7. And it's going to be an interesting passage of play.
Game on.
Yeah, very much so, game on.
Wow, that again looped in a mile, and there's so many wickets have gone down like that today, either being bowled or LB. Just looping in, and Moore's got a 3rd wicket. 3 wickets for just 2 runs. Take about Amy Moore, but she'll know full well she's still got 1 and a bit overs to go. She wants more.
So Kelly Castle will meet Amy Gordon out in the middle, who has a ton of experience. So that's going to probably settle a few of the Kent nerves.
Yeah, definitely. And if she did maybe hurt her shoulder a little bit, or just needed to come down the order a little bit more, well, she's out there now. She'll know what job she needs to do.
And obviously Hannah Hardwick as well.
Yes, who can definitely hit a ball. Those
She
two sixes at the end of the innings on Sunday were tremendous.
So then, Maughan's going to come in to bowl to Castle, dot wicket. Her overs seem to be going in a very similar direction. And she's in and bowls. And again, she caught behind and she's gone. First ball, Castle snicks it, and it gets through to the keeper, so she leaves. This is a exceptional spell of bowling. So Castle goes for none off of her first delivery. Hannah Hardwick is helmet's on and she's about to walk out.
A very thick edge to the keeper, who took the catch to her right-hand side. A really good catch. There's no slips in play, and Kelly Castle is absolutely shell-shocked by that one. And as you say, Hannah Hardwick actually just come out. So they've really, moved the running order today, Kent women. But they're rocking a little bit here. 47 for form. We did say from the very start that it depends on how the reply is. But, hey, Maud's on a hat-trick.
She is. And I think it's a genius move from the skipper there to give her a 3rd over on the bounce. I think
she's got another over after this as well.
The wickets is going to be the only way probably for Worcestershire to win this. So they had to go attacking and sort of take the hit, if you like. No pun intended. But, yeah, Hardwick out of the crease. She had a kind of a good go at it on Sunday. Some big hitting. But she finds herself in a bit of a different situation this Friday afternoon.
Most definitely. Drama.
So then, she's taking guard. It's going to be for the hat-trick ball, which, it's going to be big here if this connects. So she's just setting herself. As Maughan then is running in to bowl. And it's been hit into the ground, and it will be a dot ball. So no hat-trick today, but 2 in 2. And this, I'm going to check her figures here. Could this be in the rounds of career best figures, which I'm pretty sure it's going to be, unless something drastic happens.
She's done better than this in her career. It would have been a blistering gay, but this is absolutely incredible bowling here.
As she's runs it again. Back of a length, but just played into the ground for a dot.
I like this from Hannah Hardwick as well, though.
Yeah.
She's got a body position very positive and ready for that ball that's going to come looping in. She'll know that she needs to play the part. She played the part with the ball earlier on. Now she needs to do it with the ball, with the bat rather.
4 for 2. Her figures.
Wow, that was another cracking game then.
So that's her figures today. She's 4 wickets for 2 runs, and that is another over. A wicket maiden in T20 cricket is nothing to shy away from. Sensational. She has 1 wicket, 1 over left in her day today, and the squeeze is on Kent here slightly. It's going to be interesting. I'm looking at the scorecard here then. So Zena Bilal, Hazy James, Sydney Gorham, Holly Young and Megan Bout still left to come in if required. Again, all very capable batters here in this Kent lineup, but probably would all agree they haven't had to bat a lot recently.
Yeah, there are parallels really to this innings to the Worcester Rapids women as well. They got off to a decent start, 27 without loss, and then the wickets just kept tumbling. And Kent almost doing the same. So they'll know full well that a partnership will be probably the difference. The DLS score at the moment is 50 and Kent 47 for 4. I always think that's kind of indicative of where we are in the game. Yeah. 11 overs remaining. There's tons of overs. I mean, there's tons of balls. So plenty of time in the game for Kent. And what can Worcester Rapids do to keep the pressure on? Next over starts. Push to mid-wicket and they go through for a single. More like square leg, actually. And that's exactly that's what we got to do, ladies and gentlemen, from a Kent perspective. And yeah, I feel a bit of shell shock. I mean, I'm in awe of how the Worcestershire Rapids women have really gone about their business. But here's Gilgrass, by the way, from the pavilion end. They move the field around a little bit more. So Hardwick on strike, and they would have done their homework from Sunday. They'll know that she's a very much a clean hitter of the ball. Gilgrass in. Loop delivery and driven to just to the left of mid off, and they go through for a single.
I think as well, obviously we haven't seen too much of Hardwick bat apart from last week, but from what I know of Amy Gordon, who is an exceptional striker with the ball, she's probably got to play a bit of a different game now, which is something that she may not be as used to.
Gordon on strike. Oh, this one jumped up on her. Just when you think that it was all about the seamers today, this one sort of jumped up right up on her, actually. You're right, actually, that's a really good point. Her natural game probably isn't to, I don't know, push it around and for that long anyway. But she's going to have to play that type of game today.
I think so.
Bryony Gilgrass in. Shorter delivery, and this is punched into the onside. This should be 4 runs. Oh, that's a pressure-relieved shot. 50 runs are up from 9.4 overs, and that's exactly what Kent wanted. And the bowler was displeased with that one, just slightly short. And Gordon did the business there. 22 from 23 balls. And Kent need more of this. Gilgrass continues. As in full delivery, full toss. Oh, she's missed out there, Gordon. And straight to mid-off. And there's no run. Gosh, she missed out, didn't she?
She did. I suppose the other side of the coin is just saying to Amy Gordon, look, just play the way you usually play. Because if it comes good, then, Kent are going to get these 52 fairly quickly. But it does come with its risks.
Gilgrass in. Short delivery again. But this time straight to the fielder in the deep at deep square. And they go through for a single. It's just, again, fine margins. The 4 ball was, 2 or 3 metres to the left of the fielder at deep square and went for 4, and that was a single. But ended the over. 54 for 4, Kent. They need 51 more runs. It's a brilliant point, Molly. You've got maybe... this is the debate I was listening to as I was driving in today about the England men at Lords. There's a bit of a reset going on in the first test. And... a bit less baseball and blasting her about. And actually, a lot of commentators saying, well, actually, yesterday, with all the conditions, basically playing a bit more baseball-y, if that's a term, would have helped. And as you say, maybe just playing in the natural game. But we've got to change a bowler from the Nackington Road end.
We do. So Morn has been kept her 1 over a side then, which I don't think is a bad idea. If this game does go towards the back end, you'd want her with the ball in hand for sure. So then, it's going to be Claire Boycott to bowl from the Nackington Road end. Here to Amy Gordon. It's a bit quicker, a bit short, but it's a dot ball as well. And Worcestershire are going to be, pretty content with these dot balls. So halfway through now, 51 required. Only 4 down, so yeah. It's going to be a big couple of overs, I think, to work out where this one might go. As again, that's whipped off the pads. They're going to push hard for 2 here, but in the end, it'll just be the 1. Yeah, so I don't know. I'd probably like to see Amy Gordon continue the way that she usually plays.
Mm-hmm.
I think,
And take the game away from
yeah,
the Rapids, yeah.
I think if she goes too much, I don't want to say in her shell, but tries to play a game that isn't maybe her most comfortable, you might find that she's, a leading edge that gets caught, or she plays around a straight one. So, yeah, it's a Hardwick now. And again, that's just pushed up. They're going to take the arm on. And good running in the end by the Kent batters. Amy Gordon to get her skates on.
Good running. I thought that the fielder might shy at the non-strikers end there, but I think they both would have been in.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think Hardwick hit that with the intention of I'm running, where I think maybe Amy Gordon wasn't expecting it. So boycott then, and that's whipped off the hips, and that's probably going to be 4 there as well. So a bit of pressure releasing here for Kent. Hasn't overhit that as well, just timed that pretty well.
I'm going to put that into the category of very satisfying shots. When you just lean into the stroke down the leg side, just almost deflect it essentially. And 4 runs, really nicely done. There's a big old slope there, of course. And 4 runs and 4 more to the total.
Indeed. I think, I don't know, keep Amy Gordon playing this way. I'd always lean towards that. Boycott again then. And again, it's a good delivery. It's quicker. It's back of a length. And she's missed out there.
Good response there from the bowler.
Yeah.
He's the skipper as well. Has put herself on for Maud. So she had to make that decision. So she'll know that she'll need to do the business here with the ball.
She's in for the last ball of her over then. And again, back of a length, but quicker. So it's a dot ball. And you just need someone to sort of take on the responsibility like Maud did. I mean, her figures are pretty outstanding, but, something similar, I think, could make it quite interesting these last 9 overs.
Indeed. We have a little bit of a drama, I guess, at the end of this game, potentially. 45 more to win. Will there be a twist in the tail? Or will these two, Hardwick and Gordon for Kent, women, potentially even see it through? Both can hit the ball, strike the ball very, very cleanly. Out of the power play, so a lot of the fielders are back. And looking at the Manhattan skyline of the graph of that the directors have put up, and it's a bit of an interesting scattergun approach actually. Both innings, both for Worcestershire and also for Kent in terms of batting. But we've got Hannah Hardwick on strike, the low knee from Hampshire. Here she is on strike, and pushed into the onside. It was in the air for a very long time. And deep square, thought she was in business, but they go through for a single. If she'd middled that, she would have been definitely out.
Yes.
But fielder. 1 more to the total, 61 for 4. Next ball from the pavilion end. Flighted delivery, lovely flight there from Gilgrass. Just a single. 1 more to the total, 62 for 4.
Yeah, I think Hannah Hardwick has come out with the intent of I'm going to just try and hit every ball as hard as I can. So, that could pay off as well. Yeah,
I think they've learned some lessons maybe from Sunday, moving the order around, the Kent team. Oh, and a swing and a miss. In fact, there's an appeal for a stumping, but she just got her foot back in time. I really thought for a moment that she was in trouble there, Hardwick.
It's great work by Liv Goff with the gloves, though. It's quick as well.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Goff's just asking the umpire as well. Was that close? Love that.
I think it's fun to let the batter know that, I'm there.
Yeah, exactly. Round the wicket now from Gilgrass from the pavilion end. And there's an appeal, but definitely half-hearted. And there is 1 run taken. It's going to be a leg by, indeed. I wasn't sure if umpire Juniper was on the same wavelength as me, but indeed she is. Doesn't really matter in terms of the total. 1 more to the total, 63 for 4. And it's again that strategy of going round the wicket, the right-handed bowl around the wicket to the right-handed batter. Next ball in. Flighted delivery. And this is in the air. This is likely to be taken, is it? Indeed it is. They take the catch. And this is the very dangerous Gordon, who didn't middle that at all. And that's exactly what the Rapids wanted. Another wicket goes down just as these two were building a partnership. And Amy Gordon is out for 29 from 31. She's been around from the very start of this inning. She'll be disappointed with that. But a wicket nonetheless for Gilgrass. That was in the air a long time. Nicely taken it. I think if you dropped that one the fielder. She would have been deeply disappointed. But Gordon's out, 29 from 32 balls.
So yeah, Holly Young there's going to be joining Hannah Hardwick, and you could just see a bit of frustration coming there from Amy Gordon. She started the innings so positively with Coco Streets and the clean striking of the ball, and maybe, as I was saying, the change of role potentially, you know, the situation the shot came, she didn't quite middle it. But from a Worcestershire perspective, Kent are now 63 for 5. Hardwick's still there, and we know the damage that she can do. But they're very much in now to the part of the order here for Kent that haven't had to do a lot this year.
Yeah. What can they do? This is where you need to step up and make it count. 42 to win, plenty of time in the game, 8.1 overs remaining. And now Gilgrass is doing the business. She did the business earlier on with the bat. She batted really well. 34 for the Rapids. Right, the next ball, round the wicket. It's tucked into the onside. They think about a single and they easily take that. Nicely played there. Just take the single, Young. And Hardwick would have been on strike if it hadn't been the end of the over. 65 for 5, I reckon. It just hasn't ticked over the scoreboard. Or maybe not. No, it's not. 64. I was getting too clever there. 64 for 5, the scoreline. I want to get that right today because actually I think every run absolutely counts, right? We're 41 to win for the Kent women. I mean, these two coming into the game were even Stevens, and this game is definitely even Stevens.
Yeah, indeed. I think time is not the problem here, is it? It's the runs and the wickets of both teams. If Kent have a couple of big overs here, they're going to feel very much in the driving seat, but you feel maybe one more wicket here could really apply the pressure. So Young then is on strike, and it's going to be Boycott in to come to bowl to her then. She's in and bowls, and it's full and straight. And it's another dot ball. I think the problem you have is we say it at times very much on the side, which is completely true. If you go in your shell here and you tend to find you're getting behind the rate, that's the problem in the back end, isn't it, of the game. You think, oh, you know, I've dotted up a couple of overs here. And you find yourself searching. So Boycott again then. Defended. Another dot ball.
And the pressure mounts a little bit more. But these two need to play themselves in a little bit. They've got a little bit of time to play themselves in. Both pretty new to the crease.
And Hardwick can hit quite a long ball as well. So she'll know she's definitely got that in her arsenal. And again, that's driven hard down the ground. And it's going to be... They're going to sneak a single.
I think she was a goner if that hit.
I think you're right. It was driven up to mid-off. It was one bounce into the fielder's hands. Took the field on, which I like it. It's aggressive in the sense of the game. But you're right. I think if that had hit, she'd probably be out. So
I think the fielder might have been slightly disappointed not to hit it there, actually. But they move on. A run on the board for Kent.
So Hardwick is on strike. And it's driven straight back down towards Boycott. She got a hand there. Good bit of fielding.
Just one so far off this over. Wow.
You think any width or back of a length here that that Hardwick is going to just pounce upon. She seems that kind of player. Boycott bowls. And it's driven straight up to mid-off. And they're going to take the single. And they're going to have to hurry here. And she might be run out. It's not out by the umpire. She made her ground in the end, but it looked pretty close.
It was very close. They're really living dangerously here, but they need the runs, really, Kent. And as you say, I think Hardwick's just winding up, isn't she, for a big stroke. And actually, she's doing the right thing here. She's driving the ball, a hit and run, essentially. But really good running there from Holly Young. She grounded about really nicely and not out.
I think if you're a fielder here, you've pretty much got to expect if Hardwick's on strike, you throw into the ball to the other end because Hardwick's going to set off no matter what. And that's another dot ball. Well bowled by Boycott. Good over. Only the 2 from it as well. So she's really pulling things back for her team. So Kent are 66 for 5 after 13. Then 7 remain. And the Kent need 39 to win.
From 42 balls. So you'd think statistically or logically, that the batting side are in the box seat here. But 5 wickets down. And as you say, these two, I don't know how much they batted together, really. Did they bat together last weekend? I don't believe they did.
I don't think Young batted, no. I think
no, so there's a bit of getting to know each other a little bit as well. And you've got to learn on the job here.
You do.
And Gilgrass is going to continue from the pavilion end. And why not? She's bowled pretty tightly and round the wicket to Hannah Hardwick, who's in and bowls. Oh, and a stumping and a wicket! And Hardwick is out. She'll be disappointed with that. Just missed the ball. She came down the wicket a little bit, skipped down, trying to be positive. 4 from 11 balls, so it wasn't quite the innings that we saw on Sunday. And another wicket goes down for Kent. This is absolute drama here at Canterbury. Chasing down a very low total, 105 to win. And now need 39 to win from 6.5 overs. Whoa, Molly.
That was sensational glove work. That was quick, and it was really efficient as well. No messing about. So that there is in the back of Hardwick that, you know, is threatening with the bat as we saw last week. So I'm sure Worcestershire are going to be very happy with that. And again, it was you know, Hardwick didn't come dancing down the track. It was subtle, if anything, I think, from what we could see here anyway.
And now the new batter is going to have to face potentially 5 balls. I think that's Zina Bilal, the 19-year-old.
So Zina Bilal comes in to bat here. Batted a couple of times this season for Kent.
And Sydney Gorham, by the way, is warming up in front of us.
Yeah,
quite rightly.
Yeah.
You might be needy, Sydney. Well, she might hear me, actually. I think she knows that full well. She didn't need me to tell her. But Zina Bilal.
So, yeah, Zina Bilal, 1 ball off, 5 balls left of this over.
Defended this one, and there is no run. She's decent with the bat as well, Zina. She'll know. She's a confident young lady.
Yeah.
But things are a little bit tight. In fact, DLS says 74, so Kent behind the curve here. Gilgrass in. So down the leg side. They go through for a single, easy single. Off the glove. And she's off the mark, Zina Bilal. And actually, probably more importantly as well, just rotating the strike. 1 ball and also rotating strike. So that's the point I'm trying to make. Holly, it's all happening really. Holly Young on strike. Gilgrass round the wicket, past the umpire and bowls. Oh, she thought about winding up there to drive the ball, luff the ball over mid-on, but just chose to check that stroke, defended, and there's no run.
You think here, obviously, if I'm a bowler, I'm not moaning about dot balls, not as it stands, because it's going to just apply the pressure.
Gilgrass. Oh, and is there a nick? And it has been given. Wow, yet another wicket falls. Wow. Where on earth are we going to go with this one, Molly? This game is toing and froing, and Young is out for 2 from 7 deliveries. And the wickets still tumble. It's happening out there. The Worcestershire Rapids are doing the best they can, not only with the swing bowlers, but also with the off spinners as well. And Gilgrass is absolutely delighted. 2 wickets in this over, just 1 run off it as well. Wow, 38 to win. There's still time in the game to win the game for Kent, but we are down to the tail, aren't we, Molly?
I think so. I mean, Izzy James I think she's quite a technically correct batter from what I've seen sort of during winter previously. But yeah, again, hasn't had to bat a lot this year in a Kent shirt, which is credit to the top order, really, isn't it?
Indeed. 38 runs needed off 37. Still very much doable. But yeah, when you've got such a strong top order, they've done so well in the early part of the season. Yeah, as with any team, you know, when it's you start to think, whoa, I need to get out there and do the business. And indeed they do. Time to step up, ladies and gentlemen.
So off of this over then, there's been the 1 run and the 2 wickets.
Last ball of the over. And Izzy James on strike. So what will happen here? The fielders are close in the circle. Ball comes in, pushed to mid-wicket where it's fielded and there's no run. Wow, a double wicket over with just 1 run, as you say, Molly, off that. And as the game now swaying towards the Worcestershire Rapids women, end of the over, 67 for 7. And in the context of the game, 38 more to win off 36 balls.
You think here, if Worcestershire get another wicket, Kent are going to be up against it slightly. But it only takes one good over here, a couple of boundaries from it from a Kent point of view, and you're feeling more confident. So, Boycott has the ball in hand then. It's going to be Zina Bilal who will be taking strike. She's only faced the 2 balls currently, so 2 relatively new batters at the crease. And Worcestershire are going to want their 8th as Boycott runs in. And it's on the money again. It's full and straight. I like that. I mean, from what we can see, Boycott is just putting it in an area.
Just wicket to wicket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's not trying to bowl too quickly or do anything too fancy. It's just simple cricket. She's bowls again. And it's flicked off the pad. She'll get a single, Bilal, but I think it will... Oh, no, it might be 2. And it is 2. A warm applause around the ground.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that was a 2, but got to take the runs where you can, Kent women.
Yeah, so she's got a 2 there. I think she's probably hit it with the perfect weight, if that makes sense, for a 2. So then Boycott makes her way back to Bilal. And it's full and straight and defended away.
And also, I think in the context of the game, the first run, you got to run hard.
Yeah.
If there's a slight fumble, misfield or whatever, you've got to be ready for the second run, because at the moment it's just such a tight game run-wise.
In again. Full straight, defended back to the bowler.
And this bowler, Boycott, not much pace on it as well, so it's not as though you can use the pace of the ball.
Yeah.
So Bilal and James are going to have to really use...
You think, Boycott's got one more after this. Gilcross has another one in the locker.
And Maund
has one. And he has 3 overs. And after this, you only got a 5-5. That's cricket. It's why we love it. So Boycott back in. Driven this time. She'll get it wide of the cover fielder. And now come through for a single. So the 3 from it currently. Try saying that 10 times fast, Molly.
I feel a bit tense.
I know. It's like, oh.
Both of us are leaning forward. I know this is, you can't see us, but we're on the edge of our seats here.
Which way is it going to go? So, James then, just setting herself. She's got to face the 1 ball here from Boycott. As she's in and bowls. And full punched off the back foot. Beautifully done. Found the gap. She'll take the 1 and nick the strike. So at the end of that over then, Kent are 71 for 7. They need 34 to win, and there's 5 overs remaining.
On the test match at Lord's, by the way, second day of 5. England 203 for 7. And the lead is now 230, and that's looking like it could get to the psychological mark of 250 in terms of the lead. And who's been in the runs today? Well, Milu Gay has got his half century earlier on debut. And it's Smith and Robinson. Ollie Robinson, the man at the moment, at the wicket at the moment. Smith on 38 and Robinson on 18. But more importantly, here at Canterbury, start of a fresh new over. Oh, and this is punched to the onside, and there's a chase on. They should get 2. No, they stick with a single. It was in the air for a little while. Nicely placed, because there's a, well, sort of a short, fine fielder, which is a very popular position in the modern game. What's the scoreline? 72 for 7, 33 to win, Kent. Next ball driven, and it's in the air, but over the fielder. This could be very valuable runs. Is it going to go over the boundary rope? Indeed it is. And Bilal really took the game to the Worcestershire Rapids women there. A lovely strike just over the fielder, who I think may have got fingertips to it. But the ball went over the boundary rope, and Zina Bilal with a lovely strike. 8 from 8 so far. And in the context of the game, 29 to win.
It's a great shot. Relieve some pressure again, I think, yeah. Take the risk on every now and again.
Gilcross in. This one's tucked to the onside. They think about a single, but straight to the fielder. No run. Bilal was I think doing the right thing there, just trying to drop and run. But straight to the field, the last thing that Kent want would be a run out.
Yeah, I mean, singles. Kent can work with singles. But they can't dot up too many in a row.
Round the wicket, Gilgrass. In. Short and wide. Will it be a wide? It will be. Kent will take all the runs they can. I think she just saw Bilal just move around in the crease there. That probably put her off.
Yeah. She seemed frustrated there with herself, Gilgrass.
She'll want to keep it tight. 28 to win. Kent. Gilgrass in. Flighted delivery to the mid-wicket area. They take a quick single. If that hit, Bilal would have been a goner. I've said that a few times today. Not for Bilal necessarily, but for other Kent batters. They're living a little bit dangerously. But, yeah, went straight to mid-wicket. Shy at the stumps. Not out because it didn't hit.
Good running in the end. Good pressure on the fielders. The thing is, though, bowling spin as well. You're getting free over pretty quickly. So before you know it, you know, you've lost 6 balls.
Yeah, just over 4 overs to go. 27 to win. Straight to the fielder at mid-wicket and there's no run. And mid-wicket really comes into play, especially with this round the wicket approach.
Yeah.
And James is looking around. 2 from 4 deliveries so far, Izzy James. What can she do? It's all tense here in Canterbury. Gilgrass shorter delivery. And this one's down the leg side. They're going to run him up. I thought that was going to miss the fielder actually at short leg, but they take a single nonetheless. 1 more to the total. A leg by has been signalled. And 26 to win from 4 overs. Molly, what do you think? Who's going to win this one?
It's going to be a tense finish, I think. So James has nicked the strike. So, you know, Bilal's faced a few more balls as well. Hit the 4, so I'm sure she would have wanted the strike. So maybe from a Worcestershire perspective, it's the better option currently. But, you know, Kent only need 26.
And a couple of boundaries
That's going to
would
bring it
relieve
back
the pressure.
100%.
A huge amount.
You know, you're wrong. A couple of quick boundaries here, and before you know it, Kent are firmly back in that driving seat.
But do they want to gamble?
And that's the thing.
I'm just posing loads of questions for you, Molly.
So it's going to be a change of bowler. It is, isn't it? Who is bowling? That's going to be the question. As she's in, and it keeps low, and that might go all the way. It's going to be a big chase to try and cut it off, and they do. So they're going to come back for 2. And it's buys? No.
Oh,
Not
wow.
buys. Excuse me. So she's hit that, it seems.
Interesting. It's definitely not boycott.
Is this Amy Morn back?
I think it is Amy Moore. They're going for it. Last over for Amy Moore. They're going for it.
She's in and bowls, and it's a beautiful delivery. What's your view on bringing Morn back now?
I think they're going for it in terms of they what they know perfectly well. 3 wickets, and if they get even one wicket, really, that will turn the game. These two have put a little bit of a mini partnership together. I think the skipper's gone, here's the ball. I want a wicket.
Yeah. And she's bowls again, and it's an inside edge, and it should be cut off, and it is cut off, and it's just going to be the single. So she's done well there. I love the attacking this from the skipper to bring her back, and you're sort of banking on a wicket. The problem is if she doesn't get a wicket, you kind of feel then, you know, Kent have 3 overs, 1 more boycotts, let's say 2 overs of someone's going to have to come back into the attack.
What a delivery, that last one. Absolutely looped in.
Bowls again. It's down the leg side, and it's going to be wide, and it's a fumble from the keeper, so they'll get through for a single. Was it?
I'm surprised as well. That wasn't an official wide. I think, it moved so much through the air. Slight question mark there, but they go through for a single nonetheless. 22 to win for Kent. Oh, did it come off the pads? Maybe.
May have flicked the pad, yeah. So it's a full toss that's been hit onto the onside. They'll come through for a single, but the fielders stopped it. I was going to say stop the boundary, but to be honest with you, there was someone out on the rope anyway.
Well, that was
done well.
That was the first sort of mediocre delivery. Then bowled their entire
Yeah.
day. And I think Izzy James missed out there.
I think so. Either side of that mid-wicket fielder, you've probably got boundary. And that's a better delivery as a play and a miss. Appealed, but didn't hit it. So that's the end of the over. So, state of play. Kent are 84 for 7 then. There's 3 overs remaining and Kent need 21 to win. The helmet is being brought back to Liv Goff, which says to me the spinner is coming back on. So it's going to be a very intense 3 overs, I think, unless Kent hit a few boundaries here, which, is on the cards.
Molly Davis and myself, Rita Green, in the commentary box to call you through this one. 3 overs to go. Love a bit of drama. 21 to win. Izzy James on strike. And take a bow, Amy Maund. 4 wickets for 7 runs has really put Worcestershire Rapids women in the driving seat here. Amazing spell today. And as you completely called out, Molly, the skipper, Claire Boycott, went for broke a little bit there in terms of trying to get a wicket in that last over for Maund. Wasn't to be, but what an over it was. We're going to have some spin from the pavilion end. It's all very tense here. Every ball will count. 3 overs to go. Gilgrass continues. And driven in the air. And will it be a boundary? Will it go all the way? Indeed it will. What a strike there from Izzy James. A long lever. She's a tall lady. And really went through with the shot. It was a safe shot in the end, actually. Either side of the fielders. Lovely stroke. 4 runs.
So a runner ball, is it now? I think it could be. So a runner ball here. So Kent's boundary has put them in a position where they're probably feeling more the confident of the two. So can is it Gilgrass? Yeah, Gilgrass reply.
Gilgrass in. Cut into the offside. Is it going to miss the fielder? No, it doesn't. Either side of that fielder, it could have been 4 as well. Whew. All very, very tense. It's actually Bishop.
I had to say correction.
Yeah, sorry.
Meg Bishop.
Yeah, just want to make sure we get that right. Meg Bishop from the pavilion end in, round the wickets. All going on here, ladies and gentlemen. Shorter delivery and clubbed into the air, but it's going to drop short of the fielder. They go through for a single. She knew perfectly well there, Izzy James, that the fielder was out in the deep. Calculated stroke. So far in this over, 4 dot ball, 1. And where are we? 16 to win. Bishop in. And this is in the air. And will it be taken? It will be taken in the deep. Just in front of the cow corner area. And Bilal is distraught here as she comes off. Beautifully cultured sort of innings. She played really, really well. She tried to go for it. She knew a 6 would actually turn the game entirely. But just fell to the fielder in the deep. 16 to win Kent, and Bilal is out 89 for 8.
I mean, that's a catch you want to hold on to, isn't it, this end of the game? Bilal will be disappointed as she and herself and Izzy James are going well. So Sydney Gorham is going to stride out to meet Izzy James then. And you think there again, Kent were very much leading the driving force. And this sort of, again, brings a balance, doesn't it?
And as a player, it's amazing, isn't it? You think it's just a game. We just need to, as in, just go and play your natural game. But it's amazing how the body just tenses up and does funny things under this extreme stress. 16 to win from just over 2 overs. Very much doable still. It's a low-scoring match, but my goodness me, it's been drama galore. We watched Sydney Gorham warming up earlier on in the nets in front of us. Yeah. Let's see if those... that warm-up is going to do the business, but she's a very experienced player, really. I mean, she's pretty young as well, but in my view, very experienced. Right, driven straight back to the bowler. They go through for a single. Are they going to go back for a single? Yes. Oh, my goodness me. So let me talk you through this. Gorham was going to take the single. Never in doubt. Izzy James was hesitating and then sort of collided a little bit with the bowler. But anyway, in terms of the scorecard, it's a run. 15 to win.
1 ball left of the over.
Last ball of the over. Driven into the onside, but straight to deep mid-wicket. And they go through for a single. Wow. 2 overs to go. 14 to win. Oh, I'm not sure I can call this one.
I think it's going in both directions. I think there's been times where Kent, first bit of the power play, ran away with it, striking the ball well, finding boundary options, and then, Worcestershire pulling it back. And every time you think one team goes ahead here, something happens. So, as Reese has said, 14 off of 12. There's obviously 2 overs remaining. Boycott is going to be taking this one, who has bowled really well again today for her team. So, I mean, to be honest with you, the Amy Maund figures, I didn't think you'd do better than Hannah Harby today for 4 for 14, but she's done it.
Exactly. And from the Nackington Road end as well. So
Yeah.
similar performance, if not better. But here comes the skipper, Claire Boycott. You know perfectly well a wicket here is almost game over for Kent.
In and bowls 4 and straight. It's hit down the ground. They're going to have to push for 2, but I think it will just be the single, and it will. So take nothing away from Gorham. Worcestershire are probably going to want to have more balls at her as the new batter. James hit that beautiful 4 over mid-on. So I have no doubt here that Sydney Gorham's going to drop this and run.
A boundary would make all the difference.
So then Boycott at the top of her run as she's coming into Sydney Gorham then. It's full and straight, and it's just played to the short mid-wicket they've got there.
Dot balls are just not what Kent need right now, but there's no need to panic. Still just 13 runs to win.
Yep, still time. A boundary would be gold dust here in the sense of it's going to relieve a lot of that pressure. And again, it's short and wide, and again, it's been cut off, and it could be running out Izzy James here, and it is. She's hit that to short mid-wicket. She's collected it on the move, and Izzy James has run out at the non-strikers end. That is not what Kent wanted. So Megan Bout there is going to be striding out to meet Sydney Gorham. Izzy James looks frustrated, but Worcestershire have, again, played smart cricket. Didn't try and do too much. Boycott is bowling stump to stump.
The pressure. Pressure. And now it is definitely down to these two. From a Kent perspective, 13 to win, still doable. How many times have I said that today? I've said that the entire day.
It's still doable.
But two batters out there that know exactly what they need to do. And the skipper for the opposition, Boycott, she's bowling really well. Wicket to wicket, and not much pace on it as well. So the batters have to generate that pace. And, well, we shall see where we go with this one. I can't call it.
It's going to be tight. The Worcestershire skipper with ball in hand. Kent skipper's out there with the bat. Within reason, it's in the 2 captains' hands here. James departed for 14 off of 13 as well. Just to let you know of that contribution. So halfway through this Boycott over, Gorham is on strike. Boycott bowls. It's been played up to mid-off. They're going to take on the single again, and they'll get through for it. So, captain to captain.
Yeah, that's always tasty as well, isn't it? Megan Belt. This is your moment. The Kent-born, Margate-born skipper for Kent. Plenty of experience, 28-year-old.
Boycott bowls, and again she's hitting down the ground. It's a very good looking shot by Bout, and it will just be the single in the end. Good diving effort there from Boycott. She spent most of the time on the floor there, but
she's trying to save the single and then trying to save the ball that's flying in. But real effort, maximum effort there from the Rapids skipper.
So 11 runs to win for Kent, and it's 7 balls as well. So, Sydney Gorham's on strike. 1 wicket. 1 wicket to win as well, I should say, for Worcestershire. And she's in and bowls there. And again, it's straight down the ground. Long on's there, so it will just be the single. Sydney Gorham will have the strike into the last over of this match, requiring 10 off of 6.
Yeah, so here we are, ladies and gentlemen. 1 over to go, 10 to win. So singles aren't going to do it. They know perfectly well that they need a boundary in this last over to give them a chance to win this one, which has been tight from the very start.
Yeah.
Huge amount of drama. And who's going to bowl the last over? I think that's going to be Bishop.
It is.
Meg Bishop.
And you said, Rita, at the top of the day, you said there's nothing really between these two teams in the terms of obviously results and how they line up, and it's pretty much been like that throughout the whole day. So you're right, Bishop then will be taking the last ball, or last over of the game.
Right then, Sydney Gorham on strike, 3 from 5. First ball in. Oh, and a swing and a miss. Is it going to be a wide? No, it is not.
Good bit of glove work from Gough.
I think that was a brilliant ball as well. And yeah, exactly. Whip the bells off. Lovely. I love it, Molly. Molly, the former Kent wicketkeeper herself, so she knows a thing or two about that. Keep the pressure on the batter. The Rapids will want to do that. Next ball in. And into the onside. It's going to be a single. They're not going to win it with singles, so 4 balls remaining.
Good take. Good take. She's a bit of a long throw, from deep square leg, and it nearly went over Liv Gough.
Single figures to win this one. 2 strikes and you could win it.
You could.
But Bishop bowling really well, very intelligently. Belt now on strike. A reverse sweep, and it's going to be a boundary. What a strike. Down to the vacant third man area. She knew perfectly well that was completely and utterly vacant. And the 100 is up for Kent. Oh, a lovely premeditated stroke. 4 runs. Oh, this game is toing and froing.
That's a brilliant inventive shot by Megan Bout. They're hypercritical. Worcestershire brought everyone in, and they needed a boundary. And I dropped them out. That's what I would have done. I would have happily given Megan Bout the one. But hindsight's a beautiful thing. So now Kent only need 5 to win.
From 3 balls. Here comes the next one. What will it be? A big strike in the air. Will she be caught? Oh, she's been dropped. And they're going to take 2 runs. Do they not know there's a run out? Wow, what drama. The ball was dropped in the deep. They went through for the second run. And indeed, the game is now... well, over.
Wow.
Congratulations to the Rapids. What a ball. It was in the air for a very long time. It was dropped in the deep. They decided to go through for the second. The ball went in towards the stumps. A lovely throw back in from the player that dropped the ball. And Kent have lost this one by an agonising 5 runs.
Wow, everything happened there. I mean, credit to Worcestershire in the sense of she didn't take the catch, but the match awareness to throw the ball straight back in and for the bowler to be at the stumps. So take nothing away from what Worcestershire have done with the ball. Kent come away without the win today. Visitors get the win, but Hannah Hardwick, that was phenomenal from the bowling performance she put in, and Kent bowled tremendously well. But Worcestershire just held their nerve towards the end. Wow, wow, wow.
Incredible game. Absolutely incredible game. Earlier on today, Hardwick 4 for just 14 runs. The Worcester Rapids, well, their top scorer was Bryony Gilgrass with 34. That was decisive probably in the end. But Kent have just fallen short here. And the Worcestershire Rapids women, they win by 4 runs. In the end, Gordon with 29, top scorer for Kent, but take a bow, and I'm leaving probably the most decisive statistics of the lot. Well, that was Amy Mauld with 4 for 7.
And a maiden in there as well, wasn't there?
Absolutely.
Wow.
I think it was a double wicket maiden from memory even. And even who cares? Quite frankly, she'll be delighted with how she has contributed to the Rapids. So fine margins. And unfortunately for Kent perspective, two losses on the trot. One on Sunday by just 15 runs and today by just 5 runs. They'll take a lot of heart, I'm sure, from the bowling performance. But Molly, take us through to the end there. But yeah, heartbreak really for Kent.
I think so. I mean, T20 cricket, it can be tough sometimes. Kent have a couple of away fixtures coming up. But as we've mentioned, all they can do is go away and rebuild. There is more cricket coming up here in Canterbury. Canterbury Cricket Week is just around the corner, as we've said. The men are in action, the women are in action, and the double header as well on the 28th of June. So come down, support your Kent teams. But thank you for listening, and we will all see you shortly.